63 years in a row now inside Lad People Stadium. Of course, tailgating outside, but moments away, it's NFL draft evaluation inside.
I promise you, we'll give you plenty of work this week. Hit it, here we go. Offense is down here, defense down there on that end. Let's go.
Let's make sure we don't waste footwork here now. There you go. Now we got something out of that. So get to a boom. Hat and hand check.
Get a little more width on your release.
Here we go. Come on. That's it. Grip. There you go. Good. Break fast. I want to see some balls punched out. Okay? Make plays on the football.
You make it look real now. It's not just your head. They're looking for a lot of clues.
It'll take you a second to learn it. Then let's go. Let's challenge the guy.
Lift him up and keep your head right through it.
Good tempo. All right. Push through his hand. That's it. Gotta go. Back back. Let's go. Let's go.
Oklahoma's Landry Jones is the most experienced quarterback here. Is he the most worthy of a high draft pick? Mike Glennon replaced Russell Wilson at North Carolina State. Will he now follow him to NFL success? Alabama's Tyler Wilson or Arkansas's Tyler Wilson has a disappointing senior year behind him. Now has his sights set on becoming an NFL team's quarterback of the future. The race to be called this year's #1 quarterback in the draft is officially on, and it's never been tighter. One of our themes we'll be keeping an eye on our path to prime time, the Senior Bowl inside Lad People Stadium. Welcome to the broadcast booth, and thank you for being with us alongside Mike Mack and Charles Davis. I'm Paul Burmeister. This afternoon, guys, is all about opportunity. For all these seniors, it's a unique chance to improve their draft status. For all of us, just a continued introduction to the names that will define this year's draft process and very soon be playing on Sundays. So, Mike, based off of what you saw during the week of practice, or I guess maybe better yet, didn't see with some players, who has to show up today?
There are 3 players I'm going to pay particular attention to today. The first one, Denard Robinson from Michigan. This is a position conversion from quarterback to slot. I think he's ideally suited for that. He's tough, he's quick, but we don't know if he has natural hands yet. Compounding that is he's fighting through an arm injury. Love to see the kid make a couple catches and make some people miss. Kyle Long, son of Hall of Famer Howie Long, interior offensive lineman. Only 11 Division I starts. Let me tell you something. He missed 2 days this week with a sickness. I can't wait to see him line up against 360-pound John Jenkins to let the battle begin. And finally, Ziggy Ansah. Earlier this year, the buzz out of the West Coast scouting community was awesome. Potential first-round pick out of BYU. He's got the length. He's got the physical skill set. I kind of feel like he didn't cut it loose. He was thinking too much in practice. If you're a first-round pick, Ziggy, show it to me. I want to see you twitchy and tough. See what you have.
This week, and it culminates in a game today, really a proving ground for every single senior who had the chance to play here, but especially for those who didn't have the chance to play at BCS conference schools.
And you know they always come in, Paul and Mike, with something to prove, a little extra chip on their shoulder. Let's start with Marshall wide receiver Aaron Dobson, who's getting plenty of positive buzz coming here this week to Mobile. They wanted to see him turn it loose today and show those skills that he flashed while playing in Huntington, West Virginia. How about a guy who did flash, who got everyone's attention? B.W. Webb, a cornerback out of William and Mary. He played so well this week that everywhere I turned, I heard B.W. Webb, B.W. Webb. Can he be a slot nickel type of a cornerback or an outside guy? We'll find out. And how about these 2 safeties? One from Florida International who I had heard about, Jonathan Cyprian, a very tough, hard-nosed player who showed good coverage skills. But J.J. Wilcox, a former wide receiver, turned over to safety for the first time this year. Boy, did he flash this week. And right now, everyone's talking about the Georgia Southern kid with potential, with big-time upside.
And really, this is the one time the players have had pads on where the individual competition is more important than the eventual team outcome. For more on that, he spent 8 seasons as an NFL scout. He's now with us. Here's Daniel Jeremiah.
You know, Paul, there's some unbelievable matchups to follow in this game tonight. The top one for me, South wide receiver Quentin Patton from Louisiana Tech. He's been the top receiver here all week long. Everybody struggled to cover this kid. He's going to get a matchup today, though, against Desmond Trufant from the North Squad. The Washington cornerback has been the top corner here all week. So we're going to see these guys go head-on-head, find out who the better man is tonight.
Now, throughout the next 3 months, the chances to impress for all these athletes will come on campus, at the combine, sometimes even in the classroom. Only one more time can they put on the pads and actually play football. Tradition meets opportunity at the 64th Annual Senior Bowl next.
Congratulations. It's cold. Do you ever notice the big games, the important games, are played in the cold? I'm talking about playoffs. Regular season doesn't mean anything now. No time to get nervous. Forget about everything else. And finish the job. So yeah, you made it this far. Now what are you gonna do about it?
Come on, kid. I'm Drew Brees.
And I'm Harry.
Who?
From One Direction.
Dudes, won the Super Bowl.
Platinum album.
MVP.
On the cover. Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Hey, man. Give me the Pepsi, and I'll get you a tryout.
Cool. Hit me, Drew.
So this performance puck is another way Bridgestone's bringing its tire technologies to the world of sport.
Right, the puck. Yes, well, the multi-cell compound that allows our Blizzak tires to bite through packed snow and ice makes perfect sense on winter roads. But here, that's NHL defenseman Drew Doughty helping us test it out. As you can see, we're still trying to wrap our heads around it.
At Bridgestone, our passion for performance knows no bounds.
Saturday on NFL Total Access, we're with the Ravens and the Niners as they pack their bag for the Big Easy.
Plus, Marshall Falk goes one-on-one with Russell Wilson from Hawaii.
NFL Total Access, Saturday, 7 Eastern.
One tradition here at Ladd Peoples Stadium at the Sénior Bowl that continues. NFL head coaches lead the way. Oakland Raiders staff leading the North team, and the South team led by the Detroit Lions, where the head coach is Jim Schwartz. He's standing by with Rebecca Harlow.
Thanks so much, Paul. Coach, you've been impressed with your quarterbacks all week long. What can we expect to see from them out there today?
You know, they all got a really good command of the offense. Our play-action game will be big in this game. Chance to make some big plays down the field.
You've got 6 picks coming up in the draft. How much does this week shape that philosophy?
You know, it means an awful lot to us. You know, when you spend 7 days with a guy, not only practicing, but meeting, eating lunch, going all the way to game time, you feel very strong about your evaluations by the end of that week.
Good luck, Coach.
Thank you.
Paul.
Coach Schwartz, Rebecca, thank you very much. And there is Dennis Allen, the head coach, heading into his 2nd season with the Oakland Raiders. He and his staff led the way for the North team. We'll see Coach Allen and also Coach Schwartz throughout the afternoon. There is J.J. Wilcox, one of the stories you talked about already, Charles Davis. 3 years as a running back and receiver, opening eyes as a defensive back.
And I'm hoping he gets a chance to return the football because this guy runs with such force and determination. But Quinn Sharp, the way he hits it, I don't know if he'll get that chance.
He's going.
Now, this is Robert Alford from southeastern Louisiana. And that's Robert Alford still running. He has a clear lane to the end zone. It's a foot race. Can he beat Desmond Trufant? No, he cannot. Late flag comes in. Touchdown saving tackle by the all Pac-12 corner Desmond Trufant. We'll take a listen here for the flag.
As I was saying, guys, I can't wait to see Robert Alford return the opening kickoff.
I thought that's what you said.
Charles, you talked about small school kids.
Personal foul, face mask on the defense, number 6. Penalty is half the distance to the goal. First down.
This kid's had a solid week, all week long as a corner, and I love seeing him come out here and making the kind of moves he did. Now, where's the long speed? People have been asking where the corner's long speed is. Trufant, I could care less about the face mask. What I loved was the hustle and the fact, Charles, that he had the speed to catch up.
95-yard return. E.J. Manuel, the starting quarterback, the reverse to Terrence Williams out of Baylor, led the nation in receiving yards this year. Carries the ball in the first play from scrimmage just inside the 5-yard line. He picks up 1.
If Kasim Green didn't keep contained there, that was a walk-in touchdown.
E.J. Manuel played his first couple of seasons when Christian Ponder was hurt there at Florida State. Christian, after being the MVP in this game, first-round pick of the Vikings in the last 2 seasons, have belonged to E.J. Manuel, and he has done very well. 25-6 as the starting quarterback in his seminal career. Stephon Taylor, Stanford's all-time leading rusher to the right of Manuel. Here's Taylor inside. Taylor brought down by Jordan Hill out of Penn State after he picked up 3 yards.
Nice job by Jordan Hill. Got off the block of Garrett Gilkey from tiny Chadron State. Why wasn't he in your open there, Charles? Chadron State.
You know, that's called an oversight on my part.
This kid Manuel at quarterback, big, strong kid. I've seen him at the Manning Academy the last couple of years, and what he is, I think, is a walking upside. He's got some things he's got to clean up with footwork, but when you see him, he's a natural thrower of the football. He's big, he's strong, he can run a little bit, and let's face it, guys, in today's NFL, with the ability to run at that position, that adds an extra dimension.
And that, I'm sorry, Paul, with that build, you know you're going to get the Kaepernick comparisons right now.
Yeah, Kaepernick and Cam Newton.
See if he keeps it, and he does, right at the goal line. Touchdown, E.J. Manuel.
And trust me, there is no doubt who they're rooting for in these stands.
I was on the sideline and had someone say, we know you're going to be biased for the South, right?
Okay, this is a big, strong quarterback. One of these games, we don't really care that much whether he's down or not. That knee might have been down, but it's more about the athlete, and he probably was. In an NFL game, that might get pulled back a half a yard, but we're just going to kick the extra point, though.
Keep it and keep kick it and keep moving, but I'm with you on the run and the finish of the run with the strength of the quarterback.
Dustin Hopkins up and in. Robert Alford out of southeastern Louisiana, 95-yard kickoff return. Put the South team in business. Touchdown from E.J. Manuel.
So, as you can see, Geico's customer satisfaction is at 97%. Tasty.
And cut. Very good.
People are always asking me how we make these Geico adverts. So we're taking you behind the scenes. This coffee cup, for example, is computer animated. It's not real. Geico's customer satisfaction's quite real, though. This computer animated coffee tastes dreadful.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Someone get me a latte, will you? Please?
Playing in the NFL is tough. Doing it with the cold, just not gonna happen. Vicks Dayquil, powerful, non-drowsy 6-symptom cold and flu relief. No matter what city you're playing tomorrow, you can't let a cold keep you up tonight. Vicks NyQuil, powerful, nighttime 6-symptom cold and flu relief.
Someday, your life will flash before your eyes. Make it worth watching. Introducing the 2013 Lexus LS, an entirely new pursuit.
There's nothing like watching what you eat and seeing steak on your plate. It's Longhorn's flavorful under 500. 3 meals under 500 calories at $11.99 each. Like our juicy Renegade Sirloin or our new Napa Grilled Chicken. Eat right tonight at Longhorn Steakhouse.
Monday on NFL AM, we kick off NFL Network's 140 hours of coverage, first and live from the Big Easy. Touchdown! Plus Pro Bowl highlights, NFL AM Monday at 6, live on NFL Network.
And Joe Flacco back in 2008 when Matt Ryan turned down the opportunity, said, I would gladly be at the Senior Bowl. 2 years ago, Colin Kaepernick brought all the rushing and passing talent from Nevada, impressed us then. And look at this, your Super Bowl quarterback matchup, a couple of Senior Bowl grads in Colin Kaepernick and Joe Flacco. Super Bowl week is on NFL Network. You can catch exclusive live coverage of Media Day, the Pro Football Hall of Fame class announcement, and so much more. Don't miss the NFL's biggest week, Super Bowl week. It all kicks off this Monday right here on NFL Network. That's Kenyon Barner, over 1,700 yards rushing at Oregon this past season. And kicking off will be Dustin Hopkins. Moments after E.J. Manuel runs it in from 3 yards out. Extra point made it 7-0 South team.
You guys remember a couple years ago, Flacco throwing seeds in the pouring rain on a Thursday afternoon practice?
The #1 Thursday highlight of our 7 or 8 years here.
Oh, look at this. Both players ran right by it.
See a little Alphonse and Gaston.
All right, so every All-Star game has its own rules. And, Mike, I guess a little more variation in what the coverage can be, or the coverage that defensive backs can play today.
Yeah, how about no blitzes, offensive players can't go in motion, quarterback for protection purposes, no intentional grounding, and you can press inside the 5. But what's new to this game? For the first time ever, defenses are allowed to do a minimal amount of cover 2. In other words, instead of just a single high safety, you can occasionally have 2 highs just to make the quarterbacks work a little harder.
This quarterback is Mike Glennon. He is now 1 for 1 after finding number 1, Marquise Goodwin. World-class track athlete out of Texas, picks up 7 yards.
Here's the deal with Glennon from my perspective. Arm talent. He can make every throw. My concerns at almost 6'7", he's only 220, Charles. He's got to fill that frame out. I think he'll get stronger throwing the football if he's a 245-pounder instead of 220. I also want to see him take control. Really not a natural leader.
Throwing for the second time, and for the second time he has a completion there to Marquise Goodwin. This time he has just enough for a first down for the North team. Tackle made by Sean Williams out of Georgia after he picks up 5 yards.
You almost want to feel him take what's happened over the last 2 years, talking about Mike Glennon,
right,
and let it come out. What I mean by that is, remember they said, Russell Wilson, if you're not going to be with us full time, we're moving on to another quarterback.
Right.
Heavily criticized across the country, especially with the year Russell Wilson had. But Mike Glennon threw for over 30 touchdowns that year. So that inner strength, you want to see it come out and use it as a quarterback for this team.
Stepping up in the pocket, and number 1 puts 1 glove on it. Marquise Goodwin can't come down with it. And Mark Anthony with the coverage from Cal.
First 3 throws I've seen, Mike, have been pretty accurate.
I like it now. The corner squatting a little bit. Now he's just going to turn and run, Mark Anthony. With inside leverage, I'd like the ball towards the middle of the field more by the quarterback. However, he put it right on his fingertips. So on the one hand, Charles, it was where he aimed it. He put it on the fingertips. Right. On the other hand, there's got to be an awareness that with nobody sitting there in the middle, he can throw it more and give his receiver the angle to go get it.
Chance to separate and uncover.
4 plays, 4 passes. Wanted to set up the screen there to Jonathan Franklin, the all-time leading rusher at UCLA, and the defense had that one sniffed out. Glennon just kind of spiked it, lived to play another down.
Yeah, that was Ziggy Ansah, the guy we talked about, and he flashed some twitchiness there. You hear that term from scouts all the time, quick twitch.
And I think this is the type of game that a Ziggy Ansah can go ahead and flash those in. You know, there's a lot of open field, broken type plays where just natural talent can come out of a guy. This could be a day we see that from Ziggy Ansah.
3rd down and 10. Mike Glennon to his right. And looking for Marcus Wheaton out of Oregon State. Incomplete. And it'll be 4th and 10.
So 2 plays ago, watch him come under here. Ansah on the screen pass, forces the delivery too early. Nice job. Now, instead of going under, watch the power move from the outside. He gets under Wagner from Wisconsin and jacks him right back in the quarterback. So, Charles, exactly what we talked about. We saw a hard inside, twitchy move, and then we saw a power move. I like it.
Jeff Locke punting, B.W. Webb out of William & Mary back to receive. And as Charles told you at the top of the broadcast, he has been a topic of conversation from the time we got here. Practice started on Monday. No chance to go anywhere there. Harvard on the tackle. Kyle Harvard. He also showed up this week.
Yeah, he did.
Just getting started with the 64th annual Senior Bowl.
Mobile, Alabama, a southern city with international appeal. Mobile now embraces 70 nationalities and countless international companies that now call the city home. Named as one of Alabama's fastest growing economies, the Gulf Coast city is truly a place where opportunity meets the future. A bustling economic climate, pristine environment, and historic character filled with southern charm. Mobile, Alabama is a city where the Gulf of Mexico touches the sky.
Don't just reject convention. Drown it out. Introducing the all-new 2013 Lexus LS F-Sport. An entirely new pursuit.
Great, everybody made it. We all work remotely, so this is a big deal. Our first full team gathering. I wanted to call in a few people. Ashley Marshall.
Here.
Since we're often all on the move, Ashley suggested we use FedEx Office to hold packages for us. Great job. And on a protocol note, I'd like to talk to Tim Hill about his tendency to use all caps in emails.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Sometimes the caps lock gets stuck on my keyboard. Hey, do you want to get a drink later?
Hold packages at any FedEx Office location.
We've got Media Day covered on NFL Network. The teams are ready to let loose. It's everything you need to know about Super Bowl 47 straight from the players. Media Day. Live coverage begins Tuesday at 10 only on NFL Network.
Each and and every Senior Bowl produces those who move on not only to the NFL, but playoff success. Von Miller, a couple of outstanding seasons there as a Denver Bronco. Colin Kaepernick, next time you see him play, he'll be one of the starting quarterbacks in the Super Bowl. Sean Weatherspoon, linebacker, Missouri, first-round pick who was here. And speaking of first-round picks off the front seven, Clay Matthews opened eyes here a couple of years ago. Russell Wilson was intelligent, mature, accurate last year. Third-round pick of the Seahawks. And what a rookie season he had. An overview of the Senior Bowl participants from last year. 82 of the players, just a little over 100 were here, went on to get drafted. 8 went in the first round. The 4 years prior to that, it was double-digit first-round picks. South team on top 7-0. Second series offensively, led by E.J. Manuel. He finished the first one with a 3-yard touchdown run. His tailback out of Florida, Mike Gillislee. Florida State to Alabama there. His intended receiver, Michael Williams, little low, and that one's incomplete.
That's one, Charles, where it's kind of simple, you know? I mean, you got to put it between his numbers, right? Set your feet and get it out. That's not a hard throw, and that's what you and I have seen on tape all year long with E.J. Manuel, right?
I know people are hearing me laugh, and they're like, why is he laughing? Because that's exactly what I was thinking. Leave him on his feet. Don't put him on the ground on a simple pass like that. Leave him on his feet. Give that big body a chance to do something with it.
And the one, Paul, problem I've had with the quarterback class this year is it flashes all kinds of first-round potential, but there's a lack of consistency.
Here's Mike Gillislee, led the SEC in rushing attempts this season. His first, good for a South team first down.
Nice
Gillislee
job.
picks up 13.
Yeah, really good job inside. I thought the center and the right guard did a great job there. Larry Warford, the right guard. Brian Schwenke, the center. Going to get the right there, and then the turnout by Warford. Up the field goes Sly Williams, and that's an easy one. Look at this, folks. Wow. And
then look out on the corner, Patton trying to hold the block against Desmond Trufant. But what I like about Gillislee is, one, I'm not sure people are going to talk about much, a low odometer.
Yeah.
Only one season, as Paul mentioned, as the leading ball carrier for Florida. Prior to that, not a lot of carries.
E.J. Manuel to his left. That's completion for a gain of 6. Tavares King from Georgia. Played in the school record 56 games there.
You know, when you see that G on that helmet, you're going to see an awful lot of that during the draft this year.
Yes.
Because in addition to the players here at the Senior Bowl, and there are several of them, there's some underclassmen that are special. They got a couple linebackers that are going to be high first-round picks. John Jenkins, the defensive tackle, is going to be a first or second-round pick. You're going to see a ton of Georgia folks.
Here comes more Mike Gillislee up the middle, and Margus Hunt, maybe the best nickname here, comes up with a tackle there, gain of 1, the Eastern Block.
And the reason for that is, Mike?
17 blocks with that 6'8" frame, and he's from Estonia. And by the way, that's not in Jersey.
that's not Route 13.
That is not Jersey.
17 blocked total kicks, field goals, and extra points. That's number 2 all-time, guys. 10 blocked field goals. That's an NCAA record.
Nuts. And came here to be on the track and field team at SMU before switching to football full-time.
They're down in 3. Manuel with time over the middle. Michael Williams inside of North territory. There's E.J. Manuel standing tall, firing for 19 to the national champion.
You know why I like that throw, Mike?
Yeah.
Because he left the big guy up there for a chance to catch it, but he also stopped him before he got into a lot of traffic. Watch where the ball is.
Yep.
See that? He doesn't lead him into the free safety, puts him in a spot where he can make the catch and not run into the big shot that T.J. McDonald wanted to line up on him coming from the middle of the field.
Really good back shoulder. Lane Johnson, by the way, did an excellent job on the Eastern Block. Kicked him right out.
First down and 10 from the 41. Quickly out to Tavares King. He has 2 catches today. That one good for a first down. Philip Thomas, the man who led the nation in interceptions, comes up with a tackle, but not before King gets 13.
Now, I kind of like the ball location here because it takes him up the field, and Bleedy Ray Wilson has got to break down and make that tackle. That's a poor job by one of the long corners. He's 6'1", 192 pounds. He's got 32.5-inch arms, Charles. So when you look at Seattle with their corners and a lot of people looking for those long physical corners, he had an opportunity there to light up a wide receiver and miss the tackle.
Tavares King lit up Alabama in that SEC title game for 142 yards. More SEC flavor coming at you. That's Mike Gillislee. Across the 20-yard line, he picks up 8. Tackle made by Kevin Reddick out of North Carolina.
Left side of the offensive line, Mike looked like they did a nice job there opening up for Gillislee.
Yeah, watch the fullback here, Bohannon. They call this a bob block, back on backer. The fullback on the linebacker gets a piece, and Gillislee goes.
Lane Johnson, left tackle, moving out to the outside against the defensive end. That allowed Bohannon to get inside for the bob block. Quentin Patton saw him flash there, number 4, staying with his block at the wide receiver position to allow extra yardage for the ball carrier.
Second down, 2 coming up. Gillislee remains the tailback. Play action to him. Manuel looking to pass, keeps it himself, and had his sights on a first down, but T.J. McDonald, safety out of USC, said, no, you don't, coming up and run support.
And Michael Rivera, the tight end who was involved in the pattern, if he just stayed where he was and turned and blocked, that has a better chance of success. He released on the route and went downfield looking for someone else who made the tackle. The guy who was covering him, he probably should have blocked in the point of attack.
Pretty good safety class, I thought, this week. T.J. McDonald, there's mixed opinion on him. Some people think he's tall and high cut, doesn't cover as well as he should, more of an in-the-box guy. But, you know, Philip Thomas and Cyprian on this team have really flashed, and most people are putting them in the 2nd or 3rd round.
McDonald led USC in tackles this season. More time for E.J. Manuel looking to the end zone. Michael Williams, touchdown, South Team.
Boy, was that a heck of a throw, Charles Davis.
Could not be thrown any better. You talk about, and that's good coverage, frankly, Mike, from what I saw with T.J. McDonald. We just talked about his coverage ability. Some people question it. They think he can cover tight end. But this ball here,
Charles, this is a 270-pound tight end.
Exactly.
I mean, he's got to cover him. I mean, that's an easy route. It's just a flag route, 270. He's on his inside hip. Now turn and find the football. You're the athlete. Great throw.
Separation at the end.
Great throw, great catch, but I thought T.J. McDonald should have made a play on the ball.
You see that little bit of separation Michael Williams got at the end as he turned to try and find the football. Wasn't able to keep that contact. Well thrown ball, though, huh?
Dustin Hopkins up and in. 2 drives for the South team. E.J. Manuel has a touchdown run and a touchdown toss, and Michael Williams has a touchdown reception. The South has a 14-point lead.
Golden Corral just passed America's Family Budget Act. Right now, kids eat for just $2.99 Monday through Thursday. It's all your endless Golden Corral favorites, including our new sirloin filet and our non-stop butterfly shrimp. The $2.99 Kids Dinner Special, only at Golden Corral.
Someday, your life will flash before your eyes. Make it worth watching. Introducing the 2013 Lexus LS, an entirely new pursuit.
Saturday on NFL Total Access, we're with the Ravens and the Niners as they pack their bag for the Big Easy.
Plus, Marshall Falk goes one-on-one with Russell Wilson from Hawaii.
NFL Total Access, Saturday, 7 Eastern.
This is a special announcement for anyone in America currently faced with overwhelming financial pressures due to back taxes owed to the IRS or the state.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or other state agencies, tax resolution programs are now available that may help you deal with these problems and get your life back on track.
If you currently owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, if you're receiving collection letters from the IRS or a state tax agency, if you're being threatened with wage garnishment or a bank levy, or if you need to file years of late returns, well, time is not on your side. Take the first step toward resolution of these problems today by calling the Tax Relief Helpline now.
This is the perfect time to build a plan that can get your life back on track. So make the call to the Tax Relief Helpline now. The call is toll-free from anywhere in the United States. Don't wait. Call now.
Because I played youth football. Because I played the game and I understand what it can do for you. You have to have the right fundamentals. With the heads-up program with USA Football, we're out certifying those coaches. We're going to make sure those coaches understand how to do it properly. We want to teach them the proper way to play the game, but we want to do it safely.
Hey, Mom, Dad, Amber, Grandma, love y'all. Here we go.
And they have to love how EJ's playing. Touchdown run and a touchdown pass. Kick off Super Bowl Sunday with first on the field, 7 a.m. Eastern. Who exactly is Colin Kaepernick? We'll explore that question and more. At 9 a.m. Eastern, game day morning, Brett Favre will join the guys in New Orleans. We bring you 10.5 hours of expert pregame coverage. Super Bowl Sunday, only on NFL Network. It all begins with first on the field, 7 a.m. Eastern on NFL Network. E.J. Manuel on that drive, 4 out of 5, 58 yards, touchdown pass to Michael Williams, tight end out of Alabama. He had 2 receptions for 39 yards on that drive.
Some funky kickoffs so far today.
Desmond Trufant, who did a really nice job at corner, the first team all Pac-12 corner, brings it out to the 28-yard line. Mike, who did great here this week?
Made money. Eric Fisher, to me, by far most impressive player here. Quentin Patton, I love this kid both on tape and this week. Larry Warford is a war daddy at guard. Lane Johnson, a former quarterback, believe it or not, at left tackle, is a first-round left tackle. And Brian Schwenke, welcome to the NFL, son. You are a quick, undersized zone center that showed he could anchor this week.
Eric Fisher, not just first-round tackle, Mike, but potential top 10 kind of pick, as this is Marquise Goodwin out of Texas. That's his 3rd catch here this afternoon already. That one goes for a first down. Tackle made by Robert Alford. Back to the original question there, Mike.
Well, let's look at how much money that Eric Fisher made. A year ago, the 20th pick in the draft, Kendall Wright, 4 years, $8 million. The 10th pick made $12 million. A $4 million differential by sliding up 10 picks. I think coming in this week, Eric Fisher was plus or minus the 20th pick in the draft. Now, he's a top 10 pick, and Paul, by simple math, if it holds up, kid came here, made $4 million bucks.
He was a star in the full-speed one-on-ones Tuesday and Wednesday. This is Jonathan Franklin inside. There's Ziggy Ansah. He showed up already early in this game, just like you said at the top of the broadcast he needed to, Mike.
Yep. Type of game, I think we talked about this also, that a Ziggy Ansah can flash. Much more of a broken type field, open field type deal, because the coverages are limited, the things that you can do are limited. They can't use a lot of double teams and that sort of thing in terms of blocking, a lot more one-on-one stuff. This is a great opportunity for a guy with his athletic ability to make plays.
Agreed.
Mike Glennon at quarterback, started the last 26 games at NC State, taking over for Russell Wilson when he went to Wisconsin. Fired that one. Nice catch by Marcus Wheaton. He picks up 4, and Marcus Wheaton, Oregon State's all-time leader in receptions.
Yeah, you know, let's take a look where he made some money this week. And he reminded me on tape of Joe Staley, but in practices, he's better. Here he is against Alex Okafor, highly rated defensive end from Texas. He gets jacked back there. That's the only time all week where he lost his anchor. The rest of the week, he handled everybody. Look at the aggressiveness, pushed Okafor back past the original line of scrimmage. I really believe he's Joe Staley with better feet. And by the way, isn't Joe Staley playing next week?
Yeah, playing in the Super Bowl. Went to the Pro Bowl last year. Would have been again this year, but he has a date with a different game.
3rd down and 5. Glennon coming across the middle there. Wanted his tight end Nick Casa out of Colorado. And I think he just flat out missed him.
Yeah, and again, timing's tough when you're not used to these guys. Casa's a 271-pound tight end with not a whole lot of twitchiness to him.
And I'm not sure how much Casa was really uncovering downfield. All right,
he was a defensive end until a year and a half ago.
Yeah, so he's still trying to figure that part of it out. That made it a little bit tough on Glennon to hit him.
Yeah, the further he gets away from the line of scrimmage, the more he's feeling like a foreigner.
Jeff Locke punting, BW Webb back to receive. Webb from his 8, and he goes right down. Aaron Dobson, wide receiver out of Marshall. 4:53 left in the first quarter. The South team leads by 14.
Don't just reject convention. Drown it out. Introducing the all-new 2013 Lexus LS F-Sport. An entirely new pursuit. Who knows what the weather will bring? It's unpredictable, erratic, ever-changing. And while we may never know exactly what the weather has in store, one thing we do know is how to be ready for it. Rain-X Original Treatment repels rain, sleet, and snow. Together, they give you the confidence to weather any kind of weather. Rain-X Original Treatment and Rain-X Premium Wiper Blades. Outsmart the elements.
T-Mobile's nationwide 4G network has the U.S. covered from coast to coast, reaching over 220 million Americans. See for yourself at T-Mobile.com.
Super Bowl 46, the rematch. The Giants aim to repeat their Super Bowl 42 heroics against Brady and the revenge-seeking Patriots. Super Bowl 46, Monday at 8, exclusively on NFL Network.
Quite a busy week for all the players here, Mobile on and off the field. First of all, the Sénior Bowl Players Banquet right when they arrive, taking place at the Battle House Hotel. Meet the Players Mobile Convention Center. And the community outreach visits to the schools at various schools and hospitals in the Mobile area. This one with some of the North Team players at nearby Fairhope High School. I'll tell you what, I grew up in a college town. I remember being in grade school when the college student athletes came to campus, and just a lot of fun. I'm sure the players felt that during the week here in Mobile. Welcome back to Ladd Peoples Stadium. On the sideline, the first pick from last year's game, Quentin Coples went to the Jets in the first round. He's now on the sideline with Rebecca Harlow.
Well, Paul, there was a lot of NFL courting for this guy last year for sure, but how much did this Senior Bowl week help you?
I think it gave me a tremendous experience, to go against other guys in other conferences and, to showcase your talents out here with the best of the best. I think opened up a lot of eyes for a lot of people out here.
You've got a couple of North Carolina former teammates in this game today. Tell me why those guys should be drafted.
Because they're hard workers. First and foremost, they're first-class type of guys, and out here they're going to showcase their talent, show what they're capable of, and I think Coach is going to buy into it.
Good luck with the Jets.
Thanks a lot.
Paul.
Quentin, Rebecca, thank you very much. And a new quarterback, Tyler Wilson, out of Arkansas. He holds 27 career Arkansas records. And as of Thursday night, the title of Most Outstanding Performer Quarterback this week flips it out to Connor Vernon. He is the all-time leader in receptions and yards in the ACC. He picks up 7. But as for the award that Tyler Wilson picked up, a panel of NFL scouts personnel voted on the top performers at each position. And they said at the end of the week, Tyler Wilson's our guy.
I was happy for the kid because 2 years ago as a junior, I thought he had an exceptional year. I couldn't wait to see him play as a senior. The team at Arkansas wasn't very good, and his play was not very good. And I think he got hit too much. They struggled. And, Charles, I think he kind of rehabbed that image this week.
He did. When you get hit that often, your habits start to go. You know what I mean, Mike? It's very tough to stay in focus, stay on point, stay doing the things you're supposed to do. He's starting to look for the breakdowns all the time.
Watch my guy Swanky pull up in the hole here.
And now he's playing guard.
He's played center. Now he's at left guard. Easy pull. Gets up in the hole on the linebacker bow harness. And I'm telling you, his movement skills, Charles, are easy. Centers don't get drafted high. But this is a kid that a zone team like Houston is going to look at and say, man, that's our guy.
Best movement skills I've seen here from the center. Ryan Khalil.
You're not going to Khalil, are you? I knew you were going Khalil.
Tyler Wilson for the second time on this drive finds Connor Vernon out of 2. And that one for a first down, gain of 11.
This Connor Vernon dude, watched some tape of him against Memphis. I think it was one of the games. Really crafty. You know what he does, Charles? He knows how to gets off the press, he stacks receivers, and he knows how to draw defensive interference penalties. Like, he initiates the contact and gets the call. He's a really crafty guy, and Paul already said, what's he have? 283 receptions, more than anybody in ACC history.
And more receiving yards as well, 3,700.
And he broke a Duke player's record getting it, didn't he, Clarkston Hines?
Yes.
Wow. Who didn't know you would know that?
But I want to go back to him if it's okay here, Paul. Go back to Connor Vernon. When you talk about he stacks defensive backs, explain that, Mike, because I think I know what you mean. I just want to make sure we're being clear on what we mean by why that's a good thing.
Typically, a wide receiver, when he beats press coverage, wants to give his quarterback 6 to 7 yards from the sideline to have an angle to drop in a deep fade pass. But he also wants to make the angle better by getting over top of the corner and forcing the corner to run through his back. Now the quarterback has the best of both worlds. It's kind of like weak side positioning in basketball, a rebound. Got the guy on your back.
Tyler Wilson out of the backfield. Out of the U, Mike James. Good job, a tough run in there toward the end. Out near the 40-yard line, picks up 5 yards.
there any chance that the U's going to run out of Jameses anytime soon?
They keep coming, don't they?
They do, in quality.
And I'll tell you another thing. If they're out there, Al Golden will find them.
No doubt.
You know, he's one of the best recruiters out there and a tremendous football coach.
Doesn't hurt to have a little legacy there, too.
Right.
3rd down and 2 for Tyler Wilson, the quarterback. The guys mentioned it a little bit already about the different kind of seasons he had, junior season, senior season. One reason his junior season was better, of course, Bobby Petrino was there. They obviously had a good relationship. He had 3 wide receivers in that game that went on to get drafted in the NFL. Different coach and less talent out wide this past year. Nice decision there to lay it off underneath. Close to a 1st down is James on 3rd down and 2. Tackle made by Travis Johnson, outside linebacker out of San Jose State, all WAC selection.
You guys know quarterbacks as well as anyone in this game. I'm going to throw a name at you. Tyler Wilson. Last year we saw Kirk Cousins.
Yep.
Similar comparison?
Yeah.
Or am I off?
No, I think there are 2 quarterbacks in this game that sort of remind me of the Kirk Cousins, Andy Dalton type of quarterback, and that's this guy we're watching, Charles, and also the Nassib kid from Syracuse. I think they're both smart with good arm strength. They don't overwhelm you with how physical they look, but they're really good quarterbacks.
And you know what Andy Dalton did here a couple of years ago? We all knew he was a winner and accurate and all that. As we watch Tyler Wilson work with a nice pocket, there's some good arm strength and some accuracy as well out to Connor Vernon. Wilson to Vernon there from Duke, but Andy Dalton was able to prove he has a better arm, or had a better arm than people thought. Can we say the same thing about Tyler Wilson?
Yeah, I think we can. Look at him.
That's a shot.
Yeah, and when he gets clear vision and an ability to step into a throw, it comes out beautifully. And that, Paul, you mentioned the award that he won this week. He won that award because he was the most consistent thrower here this week.
Has good leadership skills. You know, it may be a little understated to some people, but I think that he takes charge of a football team in a huddle. He does a good job with that.
Stephon Taylor thrown back. I see Dayton Jones out of UCLA there. And also number 46, C.O. Moore out of UConn was fantastic at the East-West Shrine game last week. Earned him the opportunity to be here in Mobile. South Squad, a couple of touchdown drives led by E.J. Manuel. He has a touchdown run and a touchdown pass. We head to the second, 14-0.
Someday, your life will flash before your eyes. Make it worth watching. Introducing the 2013 Lexus LS, an entirely new pursuit. Introducing Yoga by Lenovo.
Come on, kid. I'm Drew Brees.
And I'm Harry.
Who?
From One Direction.
Dudes, won the Super Bowl.
Platinum album.
MVP.
On the cover. Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Hey, man. Give me the Pepsi, and I'll get you a tryout.
Cool. Hit me, Drew.
Excuse me, sir. I'm going to have to ask you to power down your little word game.
I think your friends will understand.
Oh, no, it's actually my Geico app. See? I just paid my bill.
Did you really?
From the plane.
Yeah, I can manage my policy, get roadside assistance, you know, pretty much access Geico 24/7.
Sounds a little too good to be true, sir.
I'll believe that when pigs fly.
Okay, did she seriously just say that?
Geico. Just a click away with our free mobile app.
We've got Media Day covered on NFL Network. The teams are ready to let loose. It's everything you need to know about Super Bowl 47 straight from the players. Media Day. Live coverage begins Tuesday at 10 only on NFL Network. You voted, we counted. Find out which Hall of Fame legends were chosen to take the field for the greatest squad ever imagined. The all-time Hall of Fame team, February 2nd at 4 on NFL Network.
This
soon as they got mic'd up, man, they were coaching every position, everybody.
Team takeoff. Let's go, man.
Drive to him. Don't look back.
Take yourself through all your progressions.
Break fast.
You got to just attack his technique. Boom, up, go. Bang, bang.
180, 180, 360.
Don't let him score a touchdown.
You're here. You're here. You make it look real now. We're coached up. Put that on TV.
It's really part of the Senior Bowl experience, not only watching the players get coached by the NFL coaches, but they're willing to put on a mic so we all get to listen to it.
I think it's one of the coolest parts of the week is not only are they coached by the entire staff, but we get to peek at it. It's really cool.
Tyler Wilson, the quarterback out of Arkansas, hot start here, 5 for 5. His favorite wide receiver, Connor Vernon from Duke. He has 3 receptions. Michael Rivera out of Tennessee, and he's going nowhere. Nice tackle. Good job of coming up and making the stick by Jonathan Cyprien out of Florida International, and he had quite a week.
Tremendous week, because I think everyone came here, Mike, with the understanding that he would strike you. That wasn't an issue at all. Yeah. They wanted to see him in coverage, and he handled that well. I had a GM tell me on the field pregame that if you took the uniforms off and said, okay, which guy is the guy? Cyprien stood out as safety for his team. And remember, he's playing with T.J. McDonald, who's an All-American safety in Southern California. And they're not saying, he wasn't saying it to put down T.J. McDonald, thinks he's a heck of a player. Just that he thought Cyprien in particular stood out this week.
So did Philip Thomas.
I love Philip Thomas.
Don't catch. No, that's a punt. You got it. That's a safety.
Oh, Marquise, no way. He turned a potential huge negative into somewhat of a positive. At least he avoided the safety.
How do you catch a punt on the 1-yard line, Charles?
Well, he didn't.
Exactly.
I was watching the NFL playoffs this year, guys, and saw on 3 punts in a row, guys inside the 10-yard line trying to field punts. So I texted Mike Prefer, the excellent special teams coach of the Vikings, and what do you tell your guys? He says he was on the 8-yard line. He said 8 because he gives a little bit of allowance. 8, and you don't back up. Nowadays, it's kind of like, hey, why not?
They make a play. It's an all-star game, right?
Ryan Nassib out of Syracuse in at quarterback, and that is Robbie Rouse. He's tackled in the backfield by Philip Stewart, linebacker out of Houston. So we've had a peek now at a couple of the quarterbacks for the North team, Mike Glennon and now Ryan Nassib. 38 starts at Syracuse with 21 and 17. Our former NFL scout on the sideline is Daniel Jeremiah. What did Ryan show you this week?
You know, when Ryan, you see the ball jump out of his hand. He does have a very strong arm, Paul. What you'd like to see is him just have to show a little more touch, be a little more accurate. Sometimes that's easier in a real true game setting like we have here.
And it appears that as we watch Ryan Nassib throw for the first time out of the backfield to Robbie Rouse, 3 consecutive seasons over 1,000 yards rushing at Fresno State, and that's a nice pickup. Josh Boyd out of Mississippi State prevents that from going any further, a gain of 6.
And you saw, Daniel, real quick, you saw why Rouse caught 63 balls this year, too. Excellent catch.
Robbie Rouse can catch the football, guys. And I'll tell you what, he might not be very big, but he's proven he's tough. All the pass protection drills this week, little Robbie Rouse will stick his nose in there.
He had over 1,000 touches at Fresno State. 1,000 when you combine rushing and receiving.
You go back to the old John McCain line when they were asking about how many times he handed the ball to a USC tailback. Coach, isn't that excessive? Remember his line?
Not that heavy?
The ball's not that heavy.
3rd down and 6 coming up from the 22.
They need a first down here. North is struggling.
Nassib, good anticipation and a nice catch. Throwing behind him there, Chris Harper out of Kansas State. And that's good enough for a North team first down. Pick up a 12. Coverage by B.J. Scott out of right here at South Alabama.
Yeah, I thought Josh Boyd jumped into the neutral zone. Good job by Nassib, just kind of keeping his composure and making the throw.
I thought it was an excellent adjustment by Harper to catch the ball because I think he expected it more to the outside.
Yeah, I agree.
He was able to twist his body back inside and make the catch.
Juszczyk, the fullback out of Harvard. Robbie Rouse remains the tailback for Ryan Nassib. There's Juszczyk. Caught Mike's eye on Tuesday and just kind of putting his head down, getting as much as he can, picks up 4 yards.
You realize we're the only ones who called him Kyle Juszczyk all week, right? Because you know coaches just called him Harvard all week long.
It's a good week in the Senior Bowl when you get a Harvard guy making money. That's all I got to say. And this kid I thought, had a heck of a week, and he was the best pass protection running back or fullback down here. Here are the guys where I think you have to find a spot. We'll talk about this in a minute.
Robbie Rouse around the left side, cuts it up, cuts it back again. And Rouse has a first down. Picks up 7 yards. Ziggy Ansah, the defensive end out of BYU, in on the tackle.
Watch Kyle Long right here pull out. I feel sorry for the corner. Toss. Kyle Long gets out there. Great athletic ability. Just buries Webb. Webb, that's about 120 pounds differential there, Charles. And how did you feel? As you and I both.
I played a little bit. I played a little corner in college too, and every time that play would happen, you jump up, run to the huddle, and say, "Hey, man, why don't you take care of those big fellas up front?"
Somebody knock them off a pass, will you? Now, Paul, let's take a look at that graphic, okay, from a minute ago. These are guys you got to find a spot for. Juszczyk to me is a fullback, tight end, H-back, and he'll knock down linebackers and defensive ends. Justin Pugh, short arms, 31.5 inches, but great feet. I say try him at left tackle until he proves he can't do it. Vance McDonald, tight end, H-back, again, 6'4.5", really good hands. They ran jet sweep to this guy at Rice. I think he can play in line, but he certainly can be an H-back. And lastly, Gooden is a will linebacker that can play in sub-packages with freaky athletic ability. That kid could play 80 snaps a game with special teams.
Wasn't he a former safety? Did you go there to safety and move to linebacker?
Running back safety, yeah.
Ziggy Ansah there on the stop once again. He's joined by his teammate there, Josh Boyd, out of Mississippi State, as Robbie Rouse, no game.
You just called Josh Boyd's name again. And I think that Josh Boyd early in this game won't get a lot of credit, not on tackles. I think he's being very active early. He's showing up in every frame, whether it's the pass game, run game. I'm seeing Josh Boyd involved in the action.
See, you've got John Jenkins at 360, but between Dawkins, Corey Griffin, and Josh Boyd, they're all jockeying for position. Can they play nose? Are they a 3 technique? What are they?
Did you play more than 2 plays without oxygen?
Ziggy Ansah again. He said his name a lot today.
Wait till you see the hold by Ricky Wagner, the right tackle from Wisconsin here. Okay, here he is. Check this out. He's going to get beat cleanly in pass, kick slide out wide, realizes that, uh-oh, I let Cornelius Washington get my edge, and now I'm going to hold him. Look at that. That's about as easy as it gets as a call. Nassib gets rid of the football.
Better that than my quarterback getting splattered.
Right. And by the way, Cornelius Washington had a really nice week. I've heard a lot of third-round grades, and again, that Georgia helmet.
But playing a little dinged up too. Got an ankle. He didn't practice much in the last part of the week, but out here today.
Nassib with a low snap and turns up and fires the interception. There is another Georgia helmet. That's Bakari Rambo. 16 career interceptions at Georgia. That tied a school record. Can we call the 17th in his career and give him the record?
I'd give it to him.
Okay.
And we got a flag down here.
I tell you, the guy who has the record at Georgia says no.
Leave it at 16.
16's good.
Bakari Rambo steps in front of the offering from Ryan Nassib. 2 years in a row, all SEC, and providing the turnover here for his South squad. 14-0, 9:37 left in the second.
Don't just reject convention. Trot it out. Introducing the all-new 2013 Lexus LS F-Sport. An entirely new pursuit.
Hello, friends. The Papa John's Super Bowl 47 coin toss experience is here.
Hey, Jim, we're already giving away millions of free pizzas.
Exactly, so why stop now?
You're right, Peyton. Vote heads or tails, and if you call it right, you win a free pizza.
Did you put him up to this?
We may text every now and then.
Vote now and order at papajohns.com, where any large pizza is only $11. That's any large, even specialties, just $11.
Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's. What if everyone in America wins? That's a lot of free pizza.
Only T-Mobile's network has unlimited nationwide 4G data with no limits, no overages, and now no annual contract. T-Mobile's unlimited nationwide 4G, now with no annual contract. See for yourself.
Saturday on NFL Total Access, we're with the Ravens and the Niners as they pack their bag for the Big Easy.
Plus, Marshall Faulk goes one-on-one with Russell Wilson from Hawaii.
NFL Total Access, Saturday, 7 Eastern.
Our experts face off on Super Bowl 47.
This defense will eat you alive. I'm not having this. No, sir. Right ahead.
No Huddle, Thursday at 10, exclusively on NFL Network.
Bakari Rambo, 16 career interceptions at Georgia, and he just picked off out of Syracuse Ryan Nassib, head coach of the North team. For the Oakland Raiders is Dennis Allen, and he's on the sideline with Rebecca Harlow.
Thanks, Paul. Coach, when you take a look at the position groups on the defensive side of the ball, which ones have stood out to you this week?
Well, I think really the defensive line has really stood out to me. I think we've got some guys that can rush the passer up front as well as play the run. So that group's kind of been the one that stood out the most to me.
When your team's down by a couple of touchdowns like they are right now, what can you learn about these athletes?
Well, you just learn how they respond to adversity, and they're going to keep fighting and keep battling. We had a great week of practice, and these guys are competitors, and they're going to keep fighting all the way through the game.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks.
Paul.
Dennis, Rebecca, thank you very much. South team quarterbacks have been hot here. They've completed 10 passes in a row. Tyler Wilson out of Arkansas. He's already 6 out of 6. 34 yards. Lays it off to his fullback, Bohannon. Wilson to Bohannon, picks up 4 yards.
That didn't have the feel of where he wanted to go with that one. You know what that felt like? That felt like a shot play to me.
Right.
And Terrence Williams never got off the line of scrimmage because number 27, Dwayne Grass, pressed him and never let him off the line of scrimmage.
Not allowed to press, Charles.
Okay, call whatever he did that he wasn't supposed to do. I tell you what, he caught him then 2 yards off the line of scrimmage, and he never let him get by. That's what that play felt like, and he had to check it down.
Play action to Stephon Taylor, looking deep this time to Kobe Hamilton. Former teammate there at Arkansas, Jordan Poyer, who showed up all week, beginning on Monday.
That should have been a touchdown. But this ball is underthrown, and he's got him. I mean, he's going to get him down right down here. Single high safety, can't get there. This ball's got to be in the air earlier and deeper. Throw it to the back pylon. Come on, you've got separation. Tyler, you got a chance to make a play. Give Poyer credit, but the ball's woefully underthrown.
Underthrown. He brought the safety into the play when he could have kept him out of it. Yep. And that's his teammate, Kobe Hamilton. You think maybe the timing might be just a tad better between the two of them with the understanding.
Chance to make a play.
But that's my playmaking machine there, Jordan Poyer. If you give him a chance, he will make a play on the football.
13 career interceptions at Oregon State. Wilson underneath once again to Bohannon. And he's run out of bounds by defensive back out of UConn, Bleedy Ray Wilson, after he picks up 2.
You know, we got an interior defensive lineman right over here, K'Wan Short from Purdue, first-round talent. Saw him play against Notre Dame a couple of times in the last 3 years. A lot of scouts have just been buzzing about. We all know he's got great ability. He's a first-round defensive tackle from an ability perspective. He just has to keep that motor running more consistently.
Dustin Hopkins from 52 yards out was 5 out of 6 from over 50 yards this season.
He's got a big arm. I mean, big legs. Block.
Ball knocked down, and Anthony out of Cal, or Jordan Poyer out of Oregon State. Active series for him, scoops it up.
Long field goals often are kicked low.
See if we can spot who got the hand up and on that. Michael Buchanan out of Illinois.
Someday, your life will flash before your eyes. Make it worth watching. Introducing the 2013 Lexus LS, an entirely new pursuit. Who knows what the weather will bring? It's unpredictable, erratic, ever-changing. And while we may never know exactly what the weather has in store, one thing we do know is how to be ready for it. Rain-X Original Treatment repels rain, sleet, and snow. Rain-X wiper blades clear the windshield without streaking. Together, they give you the confidence to weather any kind of weather. Rain-X Original Treatment and Rain-X Premium Wiper Blades. Outsmart the elements.
Welcome to your NFL interview. Please answer the following questions. Are you a natural leader? Do your peers describe you as reliable? handle a heavy workload? And most importantly, do you have the vision to anticipate opportunities and move them forward? The Scouting Combine, only on NFL Network.
Brandon Weeden, the first-round quarterback. He was here out of Oklahoma State last year. Andy Dalton, second-round pick 2 years ago, been the man in Cincinnati since. How about a third-round pick who's done well? Russell Wilson was here a year ago. Such success with the Seattle Seahawks. Christian Ponder was the MVP. Nick Foles was here. Kirk Cousins started one game last year, threw for over 300 yards in a win. And Colin Kaepernick's next start will be in the Super Bowl. Opposite Joe Flacco, who also played in the Senior Bowl.
You guys remember how I felt about Colin Kaepernick, right? Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
That pass to the draft.
You kept calling him, what'd you call him?
The Transformer.
The Transformer.
Optimus Prime.
Senior Bowl quarterback. Consider what the quarterback class did last year. Nassib trying to bounce back from
Nassib to show people. This kid playing high school, got a good arm, can rip it, smart. He's got a little edge about him with the scouts really like.
Robbie Rouse, the tailback behind him, the all-time leading rusher at Fresno State, and there's Denard Robinson with the football.
Who ran him down in open field.
Ziggy Ansah there again.
Oh, now that is a great, Charles. This is who this kid is right here. Watch how fast he is. This kid just flies.
Now think of it in these terms. How many highlights have we watched over the last 4 years with Denard Robinson, and you thought to yourself, who can catch this kid?
Right.
And Ziggy Ansah runs him down on this reverse. That's why people have talked about Ziggy Ansah potentially being a first-round draft pick.
Nassib looking to Chris Harper out of Kansas State, who was Colin Klein's leading receiver the last 2 seasons. Incompletes.
Good coverage by B.J. Scott. But let's see if we can get Ansah again. Okay, backside of reverse. You've got to stay parallel to the line of scrimmage, which he does right there. Now, it looks, I thought he was beat right there, Charles. Now look at the stride. About 3 strides, he ate up about 12 yards there.
See the spin off of the attempted block by Jack Doyle from Western Kentucky, the tight end?
That's awesome.
And Denard Robinson looked up and went, oh my goodness.
Where did you come from, dude?
And how did you do that?
Right, that was awesome.
Roughing the passer against Ryan Nassib, 15 yards, and Ziggy Ansah, he didn't play football until 2010 when he got to BYU, and he didn't start playing football then. He was on the track team. He was cut from the basketball team twice. First 2 years at BYU, only 10 total tackles. Really came on at the end of this year, 13 tackles for loss and 4.5 sacks in the final 9 games. And a great first half here at the Senior Bowl. Ryan Nassib chased out of the pocket, and he just fires that one out of bounds.
And one other thing about Ansah, we talk about him being a 1-year starter. He wasn't even going to start this year until an injury occurred.
Great bull rush right there by Ansah. Now here's the chase from behind. He covers a lot of ground, doesn't he, Charles?
In a hurry. Just what you talked about. Not many strides to get him to the point of attack or where the play is going to take place. And you know, I talked with someone from BYU. He wasn't a starter this year until an injury occurred, and he took advantage of it.
Robbie Rouse brought down by Monsory Hughes, and it was important he had a big day. Mike, I know you were looking for him to show up this week, and he kind of failed to do so until today.
I think what happens in some of the one-on-one pass rush drills that we get every day here, guys get outside of who they are because they try to do too much. They overthink it. And when you just kind of you know what happens when you think too much? You slow everything down. And I think he's just letting it go here today. And when you talk about a guy that's 274 pounds, Charles, in 09 on the track team, he ran a 10,900 meter.
I mean, that's not even right.
So when we get to the combine, it's going to be scary what this cat runs.
Ryan Nassib over the middle, and he overshoots Jeff Locker, pardon me, overshoots his tight end Jack Doyle out of Western Kentucky.
And that's the one thing that I kept getting back from people talking this about Nassib. They like so much about his makeup. They like his toughness. They like his leadership skills. Everyone concluded it with, I'd like to see a little better accuracy out of it. And that was an opportunity there with Doyle down the middle to make a throw, stick it on him, and keep this drive moving.
Exactly. 38 starts in Syracuse. Nassib 60% for his career. Just missing there. Now here's Jeff Locke. Out of UCLA to put it away. Almost had that one blocked.
Yeah, Duke Williams let his guy inside him there. That usually you don't rush the punter in these games, so the coaches are probably upset. And Shepard said, "Forget that. I'm getting it.
I got to make a play."
Almost got in there and got it. Jeff Block just snuck that one away. Whoa. And barely. South continues to lead by 14.
Mobile, Alabama, the world's new aerospace hub.
Selected by Airbus for its first facility in North America, A320s will soon be rolling off the assembly lines right here in Mobile County.
Mobile County is also home to a booming shipbuilding industry. We're manufacturing the Navy's newest, most high-tech vessels. And we're one of the top 10 ports in the country.
Shipping, healthcare, oil and gas, steel, seafood, all part of a thriving economy taking flight in Mobile County.
Monday on NFL AM, we kick off NFL Network's 140 hours of coverage, first and live from the Big Easy. Touchdown! Plus Pro Bowl highlights, NFL AM Monday at 6, live on NFL Network.
This is a special announcement for anyone in America currently faced with overwhelming financial pressures due to back taxes owed to the IRS or the state.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or other state agencies, tax resolution programs are now available that may help you deal with these problems and get your life back on track.
If you currently owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, if you're receiving collection letters from the IRS or a state tax agency, if you're being threatened with wage garnishment or a bank levy, or if you need to file years of late returns, well, time is not on your side. Take the first step toward resolution of these problems today by calling the Tax Relief Helpline now.
This is the perfect time to build a plan that can get your life back on track. So make the call to the Tax Relief Helpline now. The call is toll-free from anywhere in the United States. Don't wait. Call now.
Jay, can you tell my roommates to stop stealing my Bears gear?
Guys, stop stealing Cindy's clothes.
Jay, tell Cindy we're not stealing her clothes.
They said they're not.
They're wearing them right now.
She said you're wearing them right now.
We're just borrowing them.
They're just borrowing them.
She'd never think to wear it like this anyway.
It does look nice how she's wearing it.
Jay, don't defend them.
I'm not defending. I'm just...
You have no idea how frustrating this is.
You'd be surprised, actually. Roberto. Really?
NFL Network is once again the exclusive home of the 2013 Scouting Combine presented by Under Armour. Follow all the top college players on the path to prime time as they perform live drills for NFL coaches and scouts. The Scouting Combine live coverage begins February 23rd only on NFL Network. New quarterback for the South team. Landry Jones took over for an injured Sam Bradford as a freshman. Went on to become OU's all-time leading passer, over 16,000 yards. That's third all-time. In the NCAA's left tackle, Lane Johnson has had a fantastic week here as well. Mike Gillisley back in at tailback, brought down right at the 10-yard line. No gain. Charles mentioned that Mike Gillisley didn't have a low odometer coming into this season. Well, he was never over 400 yards in his first 3 years until going over 1,000 this season. So there's Landry Jones. Charles, you had him in his last game in the Cotton Bowl. 50 starts later, what kind of pro prospect is he?
Oh, I think Mike has identified him very well this week. He can make every throw that you want. He can do all these things. But people have this image of Landry Jones as a guy that doesn't win big games, quote unquote. And I keep looking back and saying, don't they win 10 and 11 every year? How about Oklahoma?
39 and 11 as a starter, right?
That's pretty good. I mean, winning Big 12 championships. I'm not sure that's an accurate portrayal of him, but he's not a fire and brimstone quarterback. We're not seeing that this week out of these guys. Those guys that come and take a huddle and you see them striding around and exhorting players and all that. But guess what? You go to that Oklahoma team and pull them man for man. You talk about people that believe in Landry Jones. I couldn't find anyone that gave me anything but positive about Landry as a leader, as their quarterback, as the guy that they wanted to follow. That speaks volumes to me. Play to within your personality and capabilities, and he grabbed his team that way.
I just get frustrated because there's some guys like Ian Glennon that have first-round potential from an arm talent perspective, but you don't see it consistently enough to bang the table.
3rd down and 9. Landry Jones out of the backfield wanted Mike Gillisley. Missed him, and it'll be 4th and 9, punting situation.
Yeah, Lane Johnson, the left tackle. Why is he a first-round left tackle? Former quarterback. Watch his inside foot. You're going to have an up and under move by the defensive end, Buchanan. Watch him closed right there. The inside foot, the right foot drives Buchanan down parallel to the line of scrimmage. I think Landry Jones saw color, Charles, and panicked. Yeah, he didn't have to panic. Johnson watched him right down, and I think I saw that on tape a lot with him. He moves his feet well. However, sometimes I think there's a factor where he just has to get rid of the football before the play should be over.
Ryan Allen almost had that one blocked. Marcus Wheaton out of Oregon State from his own 37. The patience in the burst right out to the midfield stripe.
Was that Duke Williams from Nevada?
If it is, it was. Yeah.
And you know what this was, Mike?
Yeah, wow. Retribution.
That's total retribution. They saw Russell Shepard almost get the last one, so the coaching staff said,
"You go get it." Yeah.
If you're going to try and block it on us."
Dennis Allen showing him how to block a punt right there. He extended instead of dropping his hands on the shoe leather of the punter.
He went past.
The ball went underneath him.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he was way past it.
He didn't understand the point where you meet the foot and went past it. But they're like, hey, if Russell Shepard's in there,
you go get him.
You go get him too.
Duke Allen in for the North team. This is Zach Dysert, the all-time leading passer at Miami, Ohio, and he is dropped. But never saw Cornelius Washington coming. And Mike, you praised him a little bit earlier for the kind of week he had.
Yeah, I think he's a kid I didn't know as much about. He gets a little bit overshadowed by some of those Georgia teammates. He comes underneath the block of Pugh. Remember what we said about Pugh? Is he a left tackle or not?
Well, watch the end of this play.
Right.
Because Washington, there it was, as he's starting to celebrate the sack.
Right.
And didn't realize the ball was free, and Pugh alertly jumped on it. But boy, quickness by Washington to get there and make the play.
See who else was there. Ziggy Ansah was right there as well.
This kid Washington has taken advantage of this week.
Zach Dysert pass again, setting up the screen to Kenyon Varner, and just flat out drops that one.
I'll tell you another kid who's taken advantage of it, was voted the best linebacker by that panel of scouts, was Xavier Gooden from Missouri. On that play, that screen right there, he was like a heat-seeking missile. Even though the ball was dropped, he would have stopped it for no gain. Charles, I called his defensive coordinator today.
Coach Steckel? Did you call Coach
Steckel, who I know you know, and I asked him about this kid, and he said he's freakish athletic ability. A will linebacker, can play 14 special teams, former safety. And then I asked him about that monster he's got at defensive tackle that declared early.
Sheldon Richardson.
He said, Mike, if there's ever been a freakish three technique at defensive tackle, that's him.
Zach Dysert on his first
series. There we go.
And on cue. Throws it right to Xavier Gooden.
Thanks, Coach Steckel.
And thank you, Xavier Gooden.
He could hear us. He just had a feeling.
And thank you, Gooden, for actually making the play.
Yeah, and again, we talked about a will linebacker, and what he is a starting will linebacker that can also play in the sub packages, okay? His strength is going to be the pass game. Former running back, drives on the football, gets thrown right to him, and now bad throw, disconnect between the quarterback and the wide receiver. Yeah. Now he turns into a running back, which is what he was in high school.
Now, no offense to him, but he better have caught that one. I mean, you don't get an opportunity like that very often.
Yep. Landry Jones to Mike James.
Ooh, good tackle.
Tackle made by, as you say, Mike, Penn State. Penn State made the tackle. Jordan Hill is his actual name.
All we talk about during the week are helmets. Look at Penn State. How could Syracuse not make that block? And Penn State, Jordan Hill that time flashed.
He's one of the more impressive D tackles to me, Mike, because I think you've got to pack a lunch and deal with him all day long.
Right.
I watched him against Wisconsin. I was getting ready for Wisconsin, the Big Ten title game. And every time there was a play that needed to be made on defense, it felt like Jordan Hill was making it against a heavy run unit that Wisconsin likes to present.
He had a career high. 12 tackles that game, 3 tackles for loss. Landry Jones stepping up in the pocket. There's James. And there's Kevin Riddick, first to put his hands on. And out of nowhere comes Dayton Jones, who also had a nice week. That's a gain of 4.
I'd say these edge rush guys are getting pressure off these tackles. Dayton Jones that time, the talented edge rusher from UCLA, got pushed past the quarterback, but they're pushing up the pocket. I like it.
Dayton Jones coming on strong at the end of this year. Had a sack in each of the final 3 games. How about 19.5 tackles for loss this year?
Yeah.
And I think one of the things that's good about his game is I've watched him make adjustments in progress. Watch plays that fooled him earlier in the game, and then by the fourth quarter, that play presented again, he diagnosed it. He would diagnose it and snuff it out.
3rd down and 8 coming up for Landry Jones.
There's Quentin Patton.
Just about the same thing when he lined up to the right. Wanted Connor Vernon there out of Duke, the ACC's all-time leading receiver. And Landry Jones knocked down right after he threw that one incomplete. It'll be 4th and 8.
Now that's gut pressure there, Mike. Both team tackles.
Worst thing that can happen to a quarterback. Sly Williams and K'Wan Short, 2 potential first-round defensive tackles right up the gut.
Now Williams it looked like Warford turned him loose to go block someone else.
Yep.
You know, and that happens in these all-star games. It's tougher, you know, to figure out who I read. Looks like he had him initially.
He had him initially, got his side, he got his shoulder pad turned, and he released him.
Passed him off, and he'll Williams make a play.
Passed him off the air.
4th down and 8. Landry Jones going for it. The receivers to his right, Tavares King, and also Quentin Patton. Stepping up and just has to come out of the backfield. Incomplete to James as Kevin Reddick out of North Carolina right there.
Looked like Dayton Jones with the initial pressure. Forced him to step up into the pocket right into K'Wan Short.
Yeah, and Ibushi's going to struggle with the speed of Dayton Jones. But if you're the quarterback, Landry Jones, don't you have to throw this ball down the field?
Yeah, you know it was 4th and 8.
Here comes Ibushi, can't handle that speed. He steps up. I know there's a ton of pressure there, but 4th and 8, you got to throw the ball down the field. Situational awareness tells me even if he completes that, he's not running. You got to throw the football down the field.
And there's Scott Linehan, the offensive coordinator of the Detroit Lions, talking to him about that last series.
We bumped into him on Friday morning, Mike. He was telling us what a nice red zone drill Landry Jones had on Thursday, and was really complimentary. Not overwhelming with the praise, but thought he did a nice job this week.
And everything happens more quickly in the red zone, especially in the NFL, so the decision-making process is even more critical.
Zach Dicer threw an interception to Xavier Gooden on his last pass and throws inaccurately to his back. Kenyon Marner out of Oregon.
I really liked Pugh, the left tackle, on that one. What a nice job he did.
Zach Dysert, the first 3-time captain in Miami history, also set the school's all-time leading passing mark for yardage with over 12,000 yards, passing up Ben Roethlisberger. Nice job of improving throughout his 4 seasons. Kind of a very good example of what a good athlete and a smart kid can do in 4 years at quarterback. His first 2 years had more interceptions than touchdowns, but came back the last 2 to toss 48 TDs against only 23 picks. Stepping up here. This time he finds Barner, but Barner is going nowhere. Out of Alabama, Nico Johnson drops him.
Yeah, and Ansah is a handful off that edge, man.
It's a perfect forum for him today, Mike. This type of game, perfect for him to show his athleticism, and he is indeed doing that.
And to show he can continue to ascend after 13 tackles for loss in BYU's last 9 games. 2-minute warning, 14-0 South.
Oh, to suffer with dandruff that keeps coming back. Women hate dandruff. But now, sad man, you're saved by an anti-dandruff shampoo. Clear Men with mint, ginseng, and tea tree. Clear Men feeds your scalp and stops dandruff at the source. Ah, look at him now. Admire his scalp. He's heroic. Clear Men. Stop dandruff at the source, perfect man.
So how did it go?
Well, Dad, spent my childhood living with monks learning the art of deal making.
You mastered monkey-style kung fu.
No, Priceline is different now. You don't even have to bid.
Master Khan taught you all that?
Mm-hmm. Oh, and he says to say, Neja Dunkoi Mun.
Your accent needs a little work.
Golden Corral just passed America's Family Budget Act. Right now, kids eat for just $2.99 Monday through Thursday. It's all your endless Golden Corral favorites, including our new sirloin filet and our non-stop butterfly shrimp. The $2.99 Kids Dinner Special, only at Golden Corral.
Don't just reject convention. Drown it out. Introducing the all-new 2013 Lexus LS F-Sport. An entirely new pursuit.
Good morning, game day.
Good morning, game day.
Good morning, insane day. Good morning, turf. Good morning, skies. Good morning, fear in the offense's eyes. Good morning, family. Good morning, snacks. Good morning, delicious quarterback sacks. Good morning, tailgaters. Good morning, bus. Good morning, game day from all of us.
Super Bowl Sunday at 9, live on NFL Network.
I'll tell you what, you played her.
64th annual Senior Bowl started well for the South team. Robert Alford, 95-yard return. We had interception from Bakari Rambo. Interception from Xavier Gooden. E.J. Manuel, touchdown run, and a touchdown toss to Alabama's Michael Williams. The North team has only 51 yards of total offense. South team leads by 14. Wake up with NFL AM and join our expert team as they bring you the latest Super Bowl news and analysis live from New Orleans. Monday morning, Saints defensive end Will Smith will join us to talk about the Super Bowl matchup. Don't miss NFL AM, live from the Big Easy all week, beginning on Monday at 6 o'clock Eastern, only on NFL Network. There's a quarterback right now for the North team, Zach Dysert. Played for 3 head coaches, Charles. It's never easy on a quarterback to keep changing coordinators like that.
Now, and I really think there's going to be a finish after this play. Good coverage there. That looks like Alford from Southeastern Louisiana on Chris Harper from Kansas State. And I think Alford, you mentioned it, Mike, has opened up a lot of eyes this week. We may use one of your terms, overaged, right? 25-year-old. Just so you know, they'll take that into account. But I don't think that's going to be a major issue for him. He's played awfully well this week. But Dysert, I think there's going to be a lot of work done on him, not just in what we're seeing on the field, but trying to figure out who he is. 3-time captain on one hand, doesn't pass the conditioning test twice on the other hand.
Wow.
What do we do? You know, how do you put that together?
Yeah, there's a disconnect there, right?
That doesn't make sense to anyone.
Right.
That's a tough one. And then you throw it in there, Paul. 3 different head coaches, 3 different systems. Okay, does that slow him down some? So there'll be a lot of work putting that piece of the puzzle together for Zach Dysert.
B.W. Webb dropped by Ryan Otten, tight end out of San Jose State.
By the way, as far as overaged, he's not the oldest one, right? We got the Eastern Bloc, who is going to be a 26-year-old rookie.
Now, the last time we really hit, I said last time, one of the times we hit it was big. Wasn't that Danny Watkins?
Yeah.
The guard tackle came out of Baylor, became a first-round pick of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, and has struggled just to get on the field at all.
And there is the Eastern Bloc, Margus Hunts from Estonia, 17 career blocks. Hence the nickname. Landry Jones setting up the screen to Stephon Taylor. There's Duke Williams, and he has been there all week, the safety out of Nevada.
And so is Larry Warford, the big guard, the war daddy out of Kentucky.
Duke Williams has no problem coming up and striking you. One of the strengths of his game, you know, I talked with the coaches who worked with him this week. They like him a lot. They think that there's an understanding of the game that has to go into it with Duke, where we call a guy a rep guy. Rep things a little bit more with him and to make sure he gets you what you're trying to get done.
Plus, there's some off-the-field potential issues also. And so you're dealing with a pretty talented safety who's got some potential off-the-field baggage, and it just all gets figured in.
Scott Linehan, offensive coordinator for the Lions, working with his South offense right now, led by Landry Jones. The injured player is Duke Williams.
Yeah, I think he dropped his helmet on contact, which is always dangerous. Comes in late from the right side, dropped the helmet. Yeah. Charles, I used to do that and hit with the crown of the helmet, and I had a couple concussions and all, but that's the kind of thing.
Thank goodness you're okay.
And the ball came out, by the way. The ball came out on the hit, but
thank goodness you're okay, Mike, because that is the absolute thing.
It's the worst thing you can do if you're a young football player. The worst thing you can do is when you tackle to drop the head.
Sky your eyes. Remember that term? Yep. Keep your eyes skyward. Keep your head lifted.
Good to see Duke Williams jog it off. That's Nevada's outstanding defensive player. Quite a senior season. He had 106 tackles.
But we did see the good in that. Thank goodness he was up, right? Came up and hit him, knocked the ball free from Stephon Taylor.
No doubt.
That's what Duke Williams will bring you.
Landry Jones still in the quarterback for the South team. Across the middle there, Russell Shepard, the intended receiver. And with the tight coverage there, Will Davis out of Utah State.
I'm not sure. Can we see this one again? And I'm not trying to produce the game, but Mike, I want you to take a look at this one. All right. Is this on the quarterback or is this on Russell Shepard, the receiver? Meaning, did he move to the spot, go to the football, or is that a little bit inaccurate and he's trying to get on his feet and go?
I think this is just endemic of an all-star game where a quarterback's expecting him to break it inside more and the receivers. Quarterback's looking more for a dig and he's running curl.
Right.
And I think it's hard to put that on a quarterback.
That's a tough one, right?
Yep, no doubt.
Will Davis from Western Washington to Pienza College to Utah State. 5 interceptions this past season. This is 3rd down and 8, and that's Landry Jones coming right back to the same man, Russell Shepard. Bleedy Ray Wilson out of UConn there with the coverage.
Blanketed on that one.
Yeah, really good. You talk about mostly 2nd and 3rd round grades. Watch him. He's going to squat the route a little bit. He's a tall corner, gets out of the... He runs the route for Shepard.
You know what he did really well right at the beginning? When you talk about squatting the route, he didn't fly out of there on his back pedal, did he?
No.
Very slow and measured back pedal, and was able to break on the route.
Jordan Poyer out of Oregon State, back deep to receive. Led the Pac-12 in interceptions this past season. In high school in Oregon, he was the state's player of the year on offense and defense, the former quarterback. Trying to show his special teams wares there out to the 15-yard line. Tackle made by Vince Williams.
I met Jordan Poyer's dad this morning.
Uh-oh. You're all elevated.
Listen,
you are first team all elevated.
Let me tell you something. When I saw Jordan Poyer's dad, if he's not a starting tight end or 5 technique, I'd miss my bet. As a big man, and I was ready to put uniform today.
Mike Glennon in at quarterback out of North Carolina State, leading the North team that struggled so far offensively. And Daniel Jeremiah, I know in our conversations, you think of the 6 quarterbacks, Mike had the best week so far.
Well, you know, Mike's good and better than everybody else is good. I mean, he has a really high ceiling. He's just a little bit inconsistent, like you see right there with that throw, just a little bit off accuracy-wise. That's what's troubled him.
I'd heard so much about how gifted he was this week, Mike. Sometimes I saw it during the week, sometimes I didn't. What exactly did you see?
This bothers me right here. Clear vision, step in. How can the ball be 3 yards in front like that? And I watched a ton of his tape. Florida State was good, very good at times. 3 consecutive 4th down conversions late in the game to win a game against a team that was better than NC State. But why that throw? So there's armed talent, but I keep trying to tell people there's inconsistencies with all these quarterbacks.
2 seasons as a starter in Raleigh, 60%, over 7,000 yards. 62 touchdowns and 29 picks as he took over for Russell Wilson.
I kind of wanted to see more from him this week, Paul. I was kind of pumped up to watch the ball come out of his hands.
Their second charge timeout in the first half. We have 30-second timeout.
And that's really one of the conversations we not only have this week a lot, but we're going to have for the next 3 months. It's a wide open race to be labeled a first-round quarterback this year because you know teams want to have him. Right now, there's not a lot of guys with that kind of grade.
And I helped influence that, too, about Mike wanting to see him because I saw him throw this summer.
Right.
And I'm texting Mike, Mike, I really like this Glennon kid at NC State. I wanted you to see him throw. Make sure you check him out.
Right.
So I got Mike all pumped up to have the kid come in here and throw this week.
And it also leads to the question, there's a senior quarterback that isn't here that should be here, and Geno Smith from West Virginia. He declined the invitation. I think had he been here and ripped the ball like I saw him rip it in certain games, he could have been the definitive #1 quarterback. Now, potential first-round seniors, Geno Smith, he declined. Barkley's an injury, and the 2 guards, Warmack and Cooper, where are you guys? Why are guards turning down an invite to come to the Senior Bowl and compete? I don't get it.
Kenyon Barner brought down by Nico Johnson out of Alabama after he picks up 6 yards. Also some guys on defense, Mike, who turned down the invitation to come here and impress.
Combination of now Teo, that's a different situation. Star Latalole, maybe a top 10 pick, but Banks had an injury. Vaccaro was the guy that turned it down by choice. He and Teo there.
Glennon rolling out to his left and believe just throwing that one away in the general vicinity of Marquise Goodwin, who had 3 early catches in this game out of Texas.
So that's going to be the thing with Mike Glennon, isn't it, Mike? Talk about the movement skills, footwork, getting the footwork back into play in order to drive it downfield. But Paul made the observation, maybe he was just trying to ground it downfield because he didn't have any play.
Took a lot of sacks, but when he sets it and throws it and has confidence, he's a very streaky thrower to me. When it's good.
I'm sorry, Russell Shepard's trying his best to block one, isn't he? So much for no rushing the kicker.
The BW that move, and a nice job.
Hey, Paul, you know what the BW stands for?
By the way.
Tackle made by Jonathan Franklin. Now who's it stand for?
It stands for Bill Webb. I asked him in pregame. I said, what's BW? And he said, my dad is William Webb, and I'm Bill. They called me Bill, so they just became BW. That was it.
Well,
wasn't like, you know, a short name or anything like that.
I got another one for you. So all these guys are trying to block punts, right?
I thought we had no rushing the kicker rule.
30 years ago, I played in the blue-gray game here in Montgomery, Alabama. Howie Long, father of Kyle Long, who's in the stands today watching his son play. Howie blocks a punt, falls on it in the end zone, and gets the MVP of the blue-gray game when you're not allowed to run.
No rushing punt.
Right.
Rewarded for not following the rules.
Oh, boy.
Jordan Hill out of Penn State drops Landry Jones. Now inside of 10 seconds left, a loss of 8.
Is that Dayton Jones on top of him also?
Yeah, they collapsed, and I think Marcus Hunt was in there also. The entire offensive line was collapsed in on top of the quarterback there.
E.J. Manuel, you are seeing him for a reason. Touchdown run, touchdown pass. His South team leads 14-0. After a short break, Andrew Siciliano, Willie McGinnis, Heath Evans will join you for NFL Total Access Senior Bowl halftime show.
You are a business pro, executor of efficiency. You can spot an amateur from a mile away while going shoeless and metal-free in seconds. And you rent from National, because only National lets you choose any car in the aisle and go. You can even take a full size or above and still pay the mid-size price.
Now this will work.
Just like you, business pro, just like you. Go National. Go like a pro.
Turn 1, Daytona. Riverside exit, I-95. Variante Ascari, Monza. Mile 7, Highway 1. Bearseifen, Nürburgring. The Horseshoe, Twin Peaks Boulevard. Every famous curve has an equally thrilling, lesser-known counterpart. Conquer them with the Lexus IS Performance line, featuring the IS 250. Real performance demands real precision. This is the pursuit of perfection.
To make it great for the whole crew, Pizza Hut put all your favorites in one epic box. The big dinner box is loaded with 2 medium pizzas, 5 breadsticks, and your choice of pasta, stuffed pizza rollers, or wings for just $19.99. Now that's how you make it great.
It wasn't a good time at work to go away, but on that trip I realized, that's my boy. This is my life, and I've only got one of each.
Expedia helps 30 million travelers a month find what they're looking for, one traveler at a time.
We've got Super Bowl week covered on NFL Network. You won't miss a thing with over 100 hours of coverage.
You can't prepare for the Super Bowl like it's any other game.
Media Day, live from the Superdome.
My job being back here is just always keep the guys' eyes on the real prize.
And the most complete Super Bowl pregame show with NFL Game Day morning.
This guy is supernatural. He does command a double team.
No one covers Super Bowl week like NFL Network.
We've got you covered.
It is halftime at the Senior Bowl. The South on top of the North, 14-0 as we welcome you back inside our studios in Los Angeles. I'm Andrew Siciliano. This is Willie McGinnis. And that is Heath Evans. Back to Mobile for the second half in a couple of seconds. First, however, the highlights from the first half and that 14-0 lead. E.J. Manuel had a touchdown on the ground early. This was after an 88-yard kickoff return. He can also throw the ball as well. Look at that one. Dropped it in the bucket.
Other than the fact that it went to an Alabama player, but we won't get into that.
Mr.
You know
Auburn over there. That's Michael Williams with the 20-yard touchdown. And again, Manuel has both touchdowns on the day. And here is an S-E-C-I-N-T. I love the name. Bakari Rambo picks off Ryan Nassib from my alma mater, Syracuse. And that is a 14-0 game. The South on top of the North at the half. Heath Evans, what do you think first half? What stands out to you?
Well, really, like you said, E.J. Manuel, 2 touchdowns, and that's really it. I was excited about the quarterback play. I wanted to see all these quarterbacks, and let's be honest, it hasn't been very good. But E.J. Manuel, I think I like touch throws. You think about quarterbacks from college, you think big arms, you think a lot of things. But at times,
I want to see the NFL passes, touch in the corner of the end zone, deep out routes, long shots with accuracy. We've gotten to see a few of those things. We knew the running potential was there. We've seen decent decision-making from this kid so far. But again, the touchdown pass to me, I like difficult throw, 20 yards, drop it over the shoulder of the defender, get it in there, fit it in where you can. This kid's played well.
And that was an NFL throw, wasn't it?
Absolutely. You want timing, you want rhythm, and you want spot on. And that's what we've seen out of him with a few of his throws early on in this game.
E.J. Manuel, 4 of 5, 58 yards. Again, that touchdown to the air and a touchdown on the ground as well. Willie, what do you like so far?
Well, unlike Keith, the quarterback position, there's not a lot to talk about, but I did see a surprise. Ezekiel Ansah, the DN from BYU, we saw him running around making some plays. He ran down Robinson from Michigan. We kind of had an angle. I'm not going to say he marked him, but he had an angle.
He's fast.
Yeah, but here's a guy, sometimes you don't talk about a lot, but here's a guy that comes out of nowhere, that runs from sideline to sideline, that can do a lot for himself in these type of games and these with these coaches making some of these plays. And he has good size, he has good range, and you never know.
And maybe the next JPP.
He could be.
Yeah,
and there's similarity. Yeah. Ziggy Ansah has only been playing football for 3 years. Went to BYU from Ghana to play soccer and basketball. Got cut from the basketball
Wasn't very
team.
good at basketball.
He got cut twice from the basketball team, and only a couple of years ago picked up football, and now he is climbing up draft boards.
That is like JPP. He didn't have a lot of experience.
It was only starting this year because of injury, and now he's gotten a shot in the Senior Bowl. He's starting to make a name for himself.
Opportunity meets preparation. There you go.
Yes, sir. And he will likely be in the NFL next year. Speaking of the NFL, we have a couple of teams about to head off to New Orleans for Super Bowl 47. Almost time to get on the plane and head down there. Straight ahead on Total Access, we'll hear from Ravens head coach, that man, John Harbaugh.
Something's happened to my family.
My briefcase, all your family's dead.
What did you do? You set me up?
They'd be helping you.
I'm not leaving this country without my family.
The cold light of day. Get it January 29th.
Set it off like a score alert. Beep, beep. What? If you set your phone to vibrate, then it might alert your button flies. All the girls and the guys want to keep that credit score high. Like a private jet, freecreditscore.com, don't forget.
Offer applies with enrollment at freecreditscore.com.
Only T-Mobile's network has unlimited nationwide 4G data with no limits, no overages, and now no annual contract. T-Mobile's unlimited nationwide 4G, now with no annual contract. See for yourself.
Someday, your life will flash before your eyes. Make it worth watching. New 2013 Lexus LS, an entirely new pursuit.
8 pieces of chicken, 8 hot wings, 10 bites. Game day bucket, go boom.
Start couch gating today with a KFC Game Day bucket for just $19.99.
So, if you have a flat tyre, dead battery, need a tow or lock your keys in the car, Geico's Emergency Roadside Assistance is there 24/7. Oh dear, I've got a flat tyre. Yeah, can you find a take where it's a bit more dramatic on that last line, yeah? Yeah, I got it right here. Someone help me! I have a flat tyre! Well, it's good for me. What do you think?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
NFL Network comes to you live from New Orleans with non-stop Super Bowl coverage. All week long, we bring you the latest headlines, superstar guests, and sights and sounds from the Big Easy.
I love his energy.
It all leads up to Super Sunday with First on the Field and Game Day Morning. Our team of Super Bowl champs break down the big game.
They play with attitude.
Get more pre-game coverage than any place else. Super Bowl week live from New Orleans starts Monday on NFL Network.
Before the Super Bowl, though, the Senior Bowl today. Halftime, Mobile, Alabama, the South on top of the North, 14-0. As E.J. Manuel, the Florida State quarterback, has both touchdowns, one of them on the ground on the first drive, the second through the air to Michael Williams from Alabama. As you saw there, we are almost set to ship off to New Orleans, as are the two teams as well. The 49ers fly tomorrow. The Ravens do not get on the plane until Monday morning. That means they were back on the practice field today, getting ready for their first trip to the Super Bowl in 11 years. Nothing really seems normal this week. It never does. But John Harbaugh is doing his best to at least make it feel or seem like a game week.
We've had a great week. We've been through the whole week this week in terms of a normal week. We went Thursday, Friday, Saturday, today being Saturday, as if it was a normal Wednesday, Thursday, Friday week. So today was a Friday practice in football time, and we had an excellent practice. Our guys are very sharp and they're excited, and we'll have to get down there and do just as well and do better. We're going to have to build on these practices. We're going to have to stack good practices to be ready to play a great football team in the San Francisco 49ers. A very well-coached football team, I might add.
Yes, they are, by a guy that he might know. Hey, good news for those Niners and Michael Crabtree. San Francisco police say they are not going to file charges against Crabtree, accused a couple of weeks ago of sexual assault. Crabtree will travel with the team to New Orleans, as he did here to Atlanta. In that game, had 6 catches, 57 yards, as the Niners won the NFC. Distraction out of the way. Good news, yes, I assume?
Very good news. You don't want distractions going into the biggest game of the season, of your life. For some of these guys, they may not ever get back to the Super Bowl. Well, as well as he played versus Atlanta, maybe it was a good thing for him. I just like the way the team's handled it, because you haven't heard a word out of this team. They haven't talked about it, they haven't spoke about it. They handled it the right way.
But that kind of is the Niners way, and the Harbaugh way. That is, we do not talk about these things.
It's
Let everyone else talk about them.
Yep.
We'll get down there, we'll play our game, and it'll be brother against brother.
Winning never hurts.
No, it never hurt at all. Speaking of winning, the South is winning, beating the North 14-0. E.J. Manuel right in the bucket there to Michael Williams. Second half for Mobile. Coming up.
Someday, your life will flash before your eyes. Make it worth watching. Introducing the 2013 Lexus LS, an entirely new pursuit.
Hello, friends. The Papa John's Super Bowl 47 coin toss experience is here.
Hey, Jim, we're already giving away millions of free pizzas.
Exactly, so why stop now?
You're right, Peyton. Vote heads or tails, and if you call it right, you win a free pizza.
Did you put him up to this?
We may text every now and then.
Vote now and order at papajohns.com, where any large pizza is only $11. That's any large, even specialties, just $11.
Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
What if everyone in America wins?
That's a lot of free pizza.
Across thousands of cities and millions of miles, T-Mobile's nationwide 4G network has the U.S. covered from coast to coast. Nationwide 4G coverage from T-Mobile, reaching over 220 million Americans. See for yourself at T-Mobile.com.
Saturday on NFL Total Access, we're with the Ravens and the Niners as they pack their bag for the Big Easy.
Plus, Marshall Falk goes one-on-one with Russell Wilson from Hawaii.
NFL Total Access, Saturday, 7 Eastern.
The 2013 Hall of Fame class will be revealed. Find out which legends will be immortalized and receive football's highest honor. The Road to Canton, Saturday, February 2nd at 5:30 on NFL Network.
Let's get it started right.
And that's Robert Alford still running, but it's a foot race. Right at the goal line, touchdown to E.J. Manuel.
All right, boys, here we go.
Here's Mike Gillisley, led the SEC in rushing. Zach Dysert, the all-time leading passer. He is dropped. Massive with a low snap, fires the interception. More time for E.J. Manuel, looking to the end zone. Michael Williams, touchdown, South Team. Welcome back inside Ladd Peoples Stadium, the 64th annual Senior Bowl. And the South team leads 14-0. Thanks for coming back with us, and welcome back to the broadcast booth alongside Mike Mack and Charles Davis. I'm Paul Burmeister. 2 quarters and 14 points later. What's caught your eye so far, Mike?
Two things. Robert Alford kind of dotting the I on the week he had. The corner from southeastern Louisiana with the great kickoff return that set up the first touchdown. And we challenged Ziggy Ansah pregame. Show some twitchiness. Get up the field. Be stout. kids run around, made some plays. It's been fun to watch, Charles.
It's nice that twitchiness is a positive, because when I was twitchy at home, Mrs. Davis wanted to smack me around. So this is a good thing for him, but he has just been really unblockable in this game, and we thought this would be the type of showcase for him, kind of an open field, broken play type of game where athletes just dominate. But I think anyone who's played defensive line in this game has had a chance to make plays. I think Josh Boyd from Mississippi State, Dayton Jones, K'Wan Short from Purdue, all of them have shown up in a big way.
Not a lot of offense so far, guys, but the offense we've seen provided by South Team quarterback E.J. Manuel on the very first drive, kept it himself, did get just across the stripe, extra point, made it 7-0. Then, moments later, touchdown pass to Alabama's Michael Williams, and there's your score in the first half, 14-0. A couple moments ago, E.J. Manuel spent time with Rebecca Harlow.
Earlier this week, E.J. Manuel promised me a touchdown early and said he got 2. What have you proven this week?
Well, the biggest thing, I just wanted to come out and be consistent, go through my reads, make sure that I was, just utilizing my intelligence. I learned the playbook, and, it was able to come out here and make plays this weekend.
Your mom is currently beating cancer. You've shown so much poise this week. I know you wanted to give her a shout out.
Definitely. I want to say, hey, Ma, Jackie Manuel, I love you. Tell my dad hello, Amber, my grandmothers, everybody. I love you guys.
Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
There's a look at E.J. Manuel, 25-6 record as Florida State's starting quarterback. Touchdown run and a touchdown pass today.
So now we know where he got his toughness.
Mom.
From his mom, Jackie Manuel. We wish her all the best in her battle.
Jonathan Franklin, UCLA's all-time leading rusher from 3 yards deep. Franklin out to the 28-yard line. Let's check out on the sideline with our former NFL scout, Daniel Jeremiah.
I've seen some good things out here in the first half, Paul. A lot of things we saw all week long. We've seen very solid corner play. Alford from Southeastern Louisiana, Ray Wilson from Connecticut, 2 guys that had good first halves. Also, Lane Johnson, the left tackle from Oklahoma, very solid. Although we have seen something else we saw all week, inconsistent quarterback play. We just have not seen anybody take the reins and really make something happen outside of E.J. Manuel.
Great point there, Daniel. 7 for 21. The North quarterbacks were in the first half for 50 yards and a couple of interceptions. Mike Glennon working it to his tight end. Good decision there. Good accuracy. Nick Costa, a year and a half ago, was a defensive end. Moved to tight end. Tackle made by Robert Alford. Pickup of 8 yards.
Little drive starter. Let's face it, the North has been sporadic at best. Hasn't been able to run the ball or throw the ball. I really need to see Mike Glennon getting a little rhythm. And let's show us that arm talent.
Talent that allowed him to, in 26 starts, throw for over 7,000 yards and 62 touchdowns. He's the man who took over at North Carolina State after Russell Wilson transferred to Wisconsin. Gal Juszczyk going nowhere, right up the middle. And he was met by Travis Johnson. Montori Hughes, gain of 1.
The Tennessee bounce-back transfer to Tennessee Martin, home of New York Giants. General manager, 2-time Super Bowl winner Jerry Reese, also a Tennessee Martin Skyhawk. Montori Hughes, he can be a load in there now.
Yeah, and he was a shade on the center. Braxton caved that time. I think Braxton was too quick to get up to the second level, and Montori Hughes made the play in the backfield.
I'd like to see Glennon find Marcus Wheaton here if at all possible. He's been terrific all week long. I think he's a dynamic playmaker downfield.
At 91 catches this past year in Corvallis. This is Mike Glennon keeping it himself and sniffing that one out, coming up to make the tackle. Chase Thomas, the linebacker out of Stanford.
Mike, could that possibly be a called play?
I'm checking this out. Here,
help me.
Here, they're not fooled at all, and there's no receivers. Look at Chase Thomas.
But is this for real? Is this a called run?
I don't know what they're doing.
There's no receivers over there.
There's not a receiver over there unless they're trying to fool him and run the football, which that had to be a mistake.
But he's about 12 yards deep before he came back upfield.
It had to be a mistake.
It wasn't pretty, but it did go for a first down. First down,
10. 6-7 gets you a first down and you fall forward.
114. 149.
Here's Jonathan Franklin, set a single-season rushing record at UCLA, along with the career rushing record for the Bruins this past season. Picks up 4.
You know what I think the biggest upside, the biggest improvement his game was last year, this year, guys?
What's that?
He took care of the football.
Yeah. Yep.
You look at his fumble totals his first 3 years, and then get to his senior year, and it is a huge drop-off in terms of ball security. You know, prior to, and we're talking over the 3 years prior, we're talking double digits in terms of cumulative fumbles. Last year, very low number.
And Coach Mara doesn't buy into those fumbles.
No, that's not a good idea.
9 separate 100-yard games. Mike Glennon rolling to his right.
There you go.
There's a pretty pass. Working it to the man that you wanted to see. Marcus Wheaton picks up 16.
Marcus Wheaton's been terrific all week, guys. I think we can all agree on that. And this is what you were looking for from Mike Glennon, isn't it, Mike?
Yeah.
Look at him roll it, and now here's that arm talent you talk about. Look at him put it on him.
And
That's
he's
a beautiful throw.
On the move, his feet, hips, shoulders, getting alignment, clear vision. Charles, you got your guy there, I got my guy there, and all of a sudden, a little rhythm.
A little collaborative effort. I like it.
Now working inside of South territory and working in rhythm. Little bit behind, but a completion to Marquise Goodwin. 2 consecutive completions there for Mike Glennon. That's good for 10 yards.
You know, what position does Justin Pugh play? The left tackle from Syracuse, a 4th-year graduated junior. His movement skills, his feet are really good. Tight end's going to pull away, kick slides to his left, handles it very, very easily.
You know who jumped up on that play for me was Goodwin, because we've heard all week about inconsistent hands. In this game today, I think he's catching the ball very well.
4 catches, more than any other receiver in the game. On the left side, good patience by Jonathan Franklin. Cut down by the member of the national champion, Alabama Crimson side, Robert Lester. But Franklin gets 12 yards.
Yeah, Brian Waters, the offensive guard, you're going to see him right here. Played tackle at Kent State. I think he's one of the nastier players in this draft. Not a great foot athlete, but I don't think he's a tackle. I think he's an inside player. I think he's a guard, and I love his aggressiveness. Good cut there, too, Charles.
Nice cut because he saw Juszczyk, the fullback from Harvard, engage and played off of his block.
First down's coming easy now for the north side. Franklin again with another first down. Jonathan Franklin inside the 5-yard line, into the end zone.
There you go.
Touchdown, North Team.
A little different pace. Glennon comes out, makes some throws. Franklin, a spark plug at tailback, and this time it's the other guard, Hugh Thornton from Illinois, chopping wood with a cut block. You're going to see the guard pull. Hugh Thornton, he's going to chop wood. Watch him cut right there on the backer. And Franklin makes the cut. Juszczyk with the block on the edge again.
Yeah, Chase Thomas, number 44 from Stanford, one of the better players in the country for the last 2-3 seasons. It's a terrific block by Thornton to spring Franklin to the end zone.
The North Team desperately needed that. You talked about Mike Glennon needed to get it going. They piled up the first downs. Talented Glennon, and also that man right there, Jonathan Franklin. 20-yard touchdown run after 21 rushing touchdowns at UCLA last season.
Mobile, Alabama, a southern city with international appeal. Mobile now embraces 70 nationalities and countless international companies that now call the city home. Named as one of Alabama's fastest-growing economies, the Gulf Coast city is truly a place where opportunity meets the future. A bustling economic climate, pristine environment, and historic character filled with southern charm. Mobile, Alabama is a city where the Gulf of Mexico touches the sky.
Don't just reject convention. Drown it out. Introducing the all-new 2013 Lexus LS F-Sport. An entirely new pursuit.
My insurance rates are probably going to double.
But Dad, you've got...
Allstate. With accident forgiveness, they guarantee your rates won't go up just because of an accident.
Smart kid.
Indeed. Are you in good hands?
Golden Corral just passed America's Family Budget Act. Right now, kids eat for just $2.99 Monday through Thursday. It's all your endless Golden Corral favorites, including our new sirloin filet and our non-stop butterfly shrimp. The $2.99 Kids Dinner Special, only at Golden Corral.
Monday on NFL AM, we kick off NFL Network's 140 hours of coverage, first and live from the Big Easy. Touchdown! Plus Pro Bowl highlights, NFL AM Monday at 6, live on NFL Network.
Finally, a little life out of the North squad. Generated first by Mike Glennon. Sprints out, comeback by Wheaton, puts it on him.
And then how about the finisher? Jonathan Franklin following Hugh Thornton, the offensive guard from Illinois. Runs through the tackle of Robert Lester into the end zone. Jonathan Franklin has always had a nose for where the goal line is, and I really like what Mike Glennon did on this drive. Able to come out, you know, a couple things seemed awkward in the beginning, but boy, he started to put it together, found our guy that we called for, right, Paul? Marcus Wheaton found him downfield, got into sync. Things started to get better, and they put it in the end.
Russell Shepard out of LSU. Gets around Wheaton there and run out of bounds.
Duke Williams with another tackle.
E.J. Manuel already accounted for a couple of touchdowns. We just saw the first touchdown for the North team, provided by UCLA's Jonathan Franklin.
Someday, your life will flash before your eyes. Make it worth watching. Introducing the 2013 Lexus LS, an entirely new pursuit.
I heard a deranged clown lurks in these woods. I heard Little Caesars have pizza for $5.
You heard right! Get a hot and ready pepperoni pizza for $5 or a 3-meat treat for $8 at Little Caesars. Pizza.
For some people, this is just pigskin and thread. But for most of us, it represents something more. It's the time of year that we have all waited for, when we sit on the edge of our seats for 4 quarters. It represents players reaching a childhood dream, the biggest stage there is in sports, a time when legacies are made, where a magical play can happen every snap, and you remember exactly where you were when it does. Watch every moment of Super Bowl 47 live on NFL Mobile, bringing the big game to you when every play matters. Verizon. Call Star NFL to download NFL Mobile from Verizon.
Oh, to suffer with dandruff that keeps coming back. Women hate dandruff. But now, sad man, you're saved by an anti-dandruff shampoo. Clear Men with mint, ginseng, and tea tree. Clear Men feeds your scalp and stops dandruff at the source. Ah, look at him now. Admire his scalp. He's heroic. Clear Men. Stop dandruff at the source, perfect man.
We've got Media Day covered on NFL Network. The teams are ready to let loose. It's everything you need to know about Super Bowl 47 straight from the players. Media Day. Live coverage begins Tuesday at 10 only on NFL Network.
When every play matters, turn to NFL Mobile from Verizon, the official wireless provider of the National Football League. Call ** NFL to download. E.J. Manuel back in the game, and it's not a bad thing to be a Florida State quarterback here in the Senior Bowl here recently. Christian Ponder was the MVP 2 years ago. 2 touchdowns for the South team, both provided by E.J. Manuel, a touchdown run, and a touchdown pass to the Alabama tight end, Michael Williams, both coming in the first quarter. A nice catch there by Kobe Hamilton. Had to go down to get it.
So I think, Charles, we've seen everything we expect to see from E.J. Manuel. Makes a beautiful throw to Michael Williams for a touchdown.
Yes.
Has missed 2 easy throws that, even though they've been completions, have not allowed his receiver to run with the football. And it's just a matter of consistency. And I really like the upside. I love the upside of this kid. It just has to be more consistent.
Like, how much do you like him? Like a 3rd or 4th round kind of pick?
I think that's about what I've heard this week from several NFL teams.
Mike Gillislee out of Florida had a nice first quarter. Turns the edge there. First down, South team. Run out of bounds by Nevada's Duke Williams, who had 106 tackles this year. That tackle didn't come until Gillislee picked up 15.
That's because Dwayne Gratz, the corner, lost contain that time. And Gratz is a guy that people are looking at as potentially as a safety also. You've got to have better contain than that. See, Gratz is 27, disappears from your screen, comes back in late. You've got to have outside leverage there. Meaning what, Charles? Outside arm and shoulder free and kick it back inside.
And because he didn't have the leverage, Terrence Williams didn't even have to make a block.
That's right.
The leverage was all lost, so Terrence Williams didn't have to block or hold or anything.
Second play in a row to Gillislee, this time right up the middle. And brought down after a gain of 3.
You know, it's interesting when we talk about E.J. Manuel. Paul brought up Christian Ponder and the week he had here, but to me it was more the game. Remember by Saturday, because Ponder I thought during the week was okay, but game day to me he was clearly the best quarterback on the field. E.J. Manuel's been okay in the week, right? Well, you know, you hear everybody just go crazy about him.
Yep.
But today, on game day, and he shows up for bigger ones. I believe he's been twice the MVP of bowl games at Florida State.
Right.
Mike Gillisley, 6 carries, 41 yards, the leading rusher in this game. There's good timing, and there is the man who led the nation in receiving yards this year. Out of Baylor, Terrence Williams picking up another South team first down, gain of 9 on the reception for Manuel.
Now, the issue for Williams, who's a big, good-looking wideout with potential first-round grades, is that the juniors that are coming out at the wide receiver position, there's at least 4 junior wide receivers that people think are going to be slam dunk first-round picks. And because of that, some of the seniors might get pushed down a little bit. And when I say that, it's probably Williams and Patton. Both of whom, especially Patton, I thought had a great week this week.
Gillisley brought down by, speaking of good weeks, K'Wan Short, whose name comes up in first-round conversations right now.
Yeah, he was first. I tell you what, he's the first rounder in the first half. He just made another first-round play, in my opinion.
Yeah, my guy Warford dropped his head here and arm over and the close. So when you're talking about 310 pounds with movement skills like that, I'm saying it's first-round, fellas.
E.J. Manuel, 6 out of 7 for 70 yards. By far the most effective passer in this game so far. Also has that rushing touchdown. The first points put up on the board.
I want to see it push downfield a little bit. I want E.J. Manuel able to really strike one downfield.
5 steps, just comes out of the backfield, and that's a good decision to Gillisley. And he's brought down right away. Good tackle by Travis Johnson, all-WAC linebacker out of San Jose State.
And I think Paul was right on that, about it being a good decision to check down and throw it. But how about how he's able to get the ball out? This shows the strength of him.
Right.
6'4" and 3/8", right? 237 pounds. People in his face. Look at this.
Yep.
That's able to get it and loft it over the top of the people and get out to Gillisley to let him make a play.
And Lane Johnson caught your eye there, left tackle too, right, Mike?
Yeah, he watched Marcus Hunt down the line of scrimmage again on a strong. So remember, if we're talking about first-round players in this game, that left tackle is probably one of them, and Marcus Hunt probably a second-rounder.
E.J. Manuel stepping up. He does this very well. Ran for over 800 yards in his career at Florida State, where he went 25-6 as the starter, brought down by Sylvester Williams.
And again, here's the guy we're talking about. He was a quarterback in junior college, then a tight end, then a defensive end, now a tackle. He's got great feet. All he does with the Illinois defensive end, Michael Buchanan, is say, okay, you want to go up the field? I'll waft you right past my quarterback, and that's fine.
And look at that was Gratz, I believe, at the end, trying to deal with Manuel on the tackle. That's a lot of man you're trying to hit. You're talking about 237 pounds. Going full speed now with a 10-yard sprint.
Yeah, and from a size perspective, he's almost as big as Cam Newton. You know, that's the kind of mass that you see.
4th down and 3, going for it via the air. Manuel underneath to Hamilton. And Poyer.
Tip drill.
Tipped that one, and it's intercepted. Will Davis out of Utah State, after 5 interceptions his senior season, has one this afternoon.
Say it with me, guys. Who's a turnover machine? Jordan Poyer.
E.J. Manuel with his first turnover of the game. It's 14-7.
Only T-Mobile's network has unlimited nationwide 4G data with no limits, no overages, and now no annual contract. T-Mobile's unlimited nationwide 4G, now with no annual contract. See for yourself.
8 pieces of chicken, 8 hot wings, 10 bites. Game day bucket, go boom.
Start couch gating today with a KFC Game Day bucket for just $19.99.
Saturday on NFL Total Access, we're with the Ravens and the Niners as they pack their bag for the Big Easy.
Plus, Marshall Falk goes one-on-one with Russell Wilson from Hawaii.
NFL Total Access, Saturday, 7 Eastern.
Simple online collaboration will change the way you work. And perhaps a whole lot more.
Great work, everyone.
Visit GoToMeeting.com and sign up for your free 30-day trial.
Hey, Cam, thanks a lot for coming to my school today.
No problem, Nate.
I promise to exercise and eat right.
Don't forget 60 minutes of play a day, right?
And I'll grow up to be big and strong like you.
Absolutely.
And play in the NFL.
Yes, sir.
And be drafted #1.
Maybe.
Become the starting quarterback of the Panthers.
Okay.
You can be my backup.
Excuse me?
And make Panthers fans forget about you. And become your mom's favorite player.
Whoa.
I'm just loosening my arm.
With NFL Game Rewind, you get access to Coach's Film with the All-22 and End Zone camera angles. You can relive every game of the season on your laptop or tablet in HD on demand. Condensed games, 4 games at once. Tablet Telestrator. That means you can diagram plays just like the coaches do. So you just went pro at watching the NFL. You don't even have to say please or thank you. You're welcome. NFL Game Rewind. Don't miss a moment.
Hey, was that you? Yeah. Huh? Numbers? Huh? Yeah, get on the numbers. See who pushed you out of bounds. The lineman. The big lineman. All right. What if you're back in here, the numbers, and now all of a sudden the lineman tries to get to you? Put a little move on him and then beat him. All right. Okay. Hey, Poyer, nice job, baby.
Here's man-to-man. I love the drive by Poyer. Ball comes up in the air. Look at Lane Johnson. Talk about an offensive lineman that runs, going to run a 4.8 at the combine. And Coach Allen was saying to Hill, hey, stay in closer to the number so you can make a move on that big fatty. But Johnson's not a big fatty.
No.
That's my point. I mean,
he's
right, Paul?
He's an athlete.
He's an athlete.
Yes, I know.
And his ability to stay on his feet and strike people in open space will be an added advantage for him, not just the pass blocking.
Kenyon Varner is the tailback, and somebody ripped a big hit. Vince Williams out of Florida State.
It's not the first time we've seen that this week.
Vince Williams came in here late this week as late replacement. Number 1 in the middle of your screen. Downhill, gets off a block of Cade, and then look at the finish. He's buried a couple of people, Charles.
I mean, remember the play he made during the week? And just what you just talked about, the way he evaded the block of Braxton Cave, the center, stays on his feet, and then finishes the play.
Yep. Mike Glennon added quarterbacks 7 out of 13. Those numbers not great, but in the second half did lead the 1 touchdown drive for the North. Had time, flushed out to his right, now coming back.
There's a throw.
And there is perhaps the best throw of the day to Chris Harper.
There is a NFL football arm talent throw right there.
8-21.
It starts with pass protection. Ansa blocked up. Pugh on the other side did a great job. They might call a hold here. I don't care. Right, Charles?
Does
don't
not
care.
matter.
This is an arm talent throw.
Holding on the offense. 67.
Don't care.
Penalty is 10 yards.
Justin Pugh gets called for the hold. Don't care.
Let me ask you about this, Mike. Not just the arm talent, okay? But now he's got to move. He's flushed. He's got to move, right? And look how he gets set.
Yeah.
And now he delivers that strike.
Did you watch the underneath coverage? It's over the underneath coverage and in front of the defensive back, Anthony. You can't walk out there and put that throw anywhere better than that.
That's well done.
So that's what, Paul. You ask me why I get pumped up about that. Every once in a while you see that and go, that's it, that's it.
Made it look easy, and that's not an easy throw. Coming back to his left, and that is a perfect throw. Can't throw it any better than that to Jack Doyle, tight end out of Western Kentucky, gain of 22.
And you know they'd say on the headsets during a game right now, Mike. You know they're saying to the offensive coordinator, saying to the head coach,
feed him.
Oh, he's in rhythm now, coach. He's in rhythm now. Let's go back to it. Look at that throw.
What did we say earlier? From the tape I've watched, when he gets some confidence going, when he feels good and starts to rip it, it gets really good. There's 2 great throws right there.
Yeah, the head coach clicked over to the offensive side now. Let him throw. Let him go.
They toss it to Kenyon Varner. Cuts it up inside. And there's Vince Williams again showing up for the second time on this drive. Gain of 4.
He's active, Vince Williams is.
Those are striking tackles, too. I mean, when he gets there, that play's done.
Now, if you juxtapose those 2 throws we just saw with a couple of ground balls from the first half, it's hard to even figure out that it's the same guy. That's the frustrating part of Michael Glennon.
Come back and let him fire another one.
Yeah, I want to see it. Look, they're in cover 2, Charles. 2 deep safeties.
There he is off the 5
Where's the seam?
Again with time and coming underneath to Kenyon Varner, who just flat out dropped it. Daniel Jeremiah, there are a few players here who had it's a less than great weeks of practice, but are showing up here today.
Yeah, you know, you guys have talked about Ansa a lot today, and he didn't do really anything during the week of practice. Had an awesome game here tonight. One thing you notice about him, he was the first down on kickoff coverage. Forget what he's just done on defense. Another one, Will Davis, a corner from Utah State that had the interception a minute ago, really struggled this week. Nice to see him get a pick and some confidence.
Mike Glennon, strong second half, 4 out of 5 so far for 56 yards. Perhaps his best throw, called back for a penalty. 3rd down and 6. Climbs the pocket well, but throws in accurately to his tight end once again out of Western Kentucky. Found him earlier on this drive. That is Jack Doyle, incomplete. Coverage by Robert Lester out of Alabama.
That's good coverage. I mean, there really wasn't anyone open, and if you're going to miss it with that kind of man coverage, you miss to the outside.
And there's a little pressure on the backside. Looks like Cornelius Washington, John Jenkins got to him in the backside.
Another good drive, though. North has come out looking completely different in the second half offensively.
Quinn Sharp out of Oklahoma State from 42 yards out during the season. In between 40 and 49 yards, he was 7 out of 10. And today, from 42, he's a perfect 1 for 1. North team, 0 points in the first 2 quarters, 10 points in the third. 14-10 with 3:28 left in the third quarter.
Hey.
Hey, honey.
Hey, Alan.
Hey.
I'm Bob. We talked at the tax store. I did your taxes.
Well, I thought you were a tax expert.
Today I'm a master plumber.
Major tax stores advertise for preparers with no tax experience necessary. At TurboTax, you only get answers from CPAs, EAs, or tax attorneys, all real tax experts. More Americans trusted their federal taxes to TurboTax last year than H&R Block stores and all other major tax stores combined.
Hello, friends. The Papa John's Super Bowl 47 coin toss experience is here.
Hey, Jim, we're already giving away millions of free pizza.
Exactly, so why stop now? You're right, Peyton. Vote heads or tails, and if you call it right, you win a free pizza.
Did you put him up to this?
We may text every now and then.
Vote now and order at papajohns.com, where any large pizza is only $11. That's any large, even specialties, just $11.
Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
What if everyone in America wins?
That's a lot of free pizza.
It wasn't a good time at work to go away, but on that trip I realized, that's my boy. This is my life, and I've only got one of each.
Expedia helps 30 million travelers a month find what they're looking for, one traveler at a time.
Don't just reject convention. Drown it out. Introducing the all-new 2013 Lexus LS F-Sport, an entirely new pursuit.
Monday on NFL AM, we kick off NFL Network's 140 hours of coverage, first and live from the Big Easy. Touchdown! Plus Pro Bowl highlights, NFL AM Monday at 6, live on NFL Network.
NFL Network is the exclusive home of the 2013 Scouting Combine presented by Under Armour. Follow top college players on the path to prime time as they perform live drills for NFL coaches and scouts. The Scouting Combine. Our live coverage begins February 23rd. You can see it only on NFL Network.
Paul, I do have to say something about football here in this state of Alabama. You just show all the Winnebagos and everybody partying out there. This is an all-star game, and I've never seen an environment. Every year I'm amazed by the passion that people have in the state of Alabama for football. It's really cool.
Shepard out of LSU, the wide receiver. Keeping his feet just across the 30-yard line.
Is he really a senior? I feel like I've been hearing about Russell Shepard for 8 years. And, you know, he was a guy who was so highly touted coming out of high school. He kept waiting to see all these things. And here at LSU his last year, he caught 6 passes.
Yeah.
Talent, talent, talent. That's all you hear, yet you don't see the numbers that back that up. Now, how much of that is offense? How much of that what they called? That's for the pro scouts to determine.
Right.
We got a late call here this week when we had some injuries, and he's trying to make the most of it.
Back in at quarterback out of Arkansas, Tyler Wilson had a solid first half, going 8 out of 9. James out of Miami has the football.
Sly Williams, man. Good movement.
And also in there to make the tackle, Kasim Green out of Rutgers, who 2 years ago in the spring moved from safety to linebacker. And 2 years in a row, he was the Big East Defensive Player of the Year.
You can see that silver helmet downhill. Good job by Sly Williams inside. Kasim Green, a lot of people think he's a first-round pick. Now, talk about heavy production, right, Paul?
Yeah.
This is a guy that you put the tape on at Rutgers. He flashes everywhere. Some have him in the first, some have him in the second. All I know is his production tells me he's a first-round pick.
You saw the 136 tackles this year. You had 141 the year before. And that's Bleedy Ray Wilson. Tight coverage, Sean Zavaris King out of Georgia.
Yeah, ball's late, and they're playing man coverage and jumping those intermediate routes, Charles, right?
That's the second time we've had Bleedy Ray Wilson make a play on the ball. Yep. Started out rough, Did make a play on a hitch route, and doesn't make it. But since then, any type of coverage downfield. Does he look a little bit more like those Seattle cornerbacks? I'm not saying he is. I'm not saying he's Richard Sherman or Brandon Brown, but at the same time, the longer arms, the reach, the length, it's a little bit more of what we're talking about.
Yeah, and he's a shade under 6'1", where Browner and Sherman are 6'3".
Yeah, they're massive guys.
But he's got 32.5-inch arms, which is longer than Justin Pugh, the left tackle, to put it in perspective. So, yeah, he's one of those longer guys. They're all like it now.
Third down and 10. Wilson tried to climb the pocket there and dump it out to Bohannon as fullback.
Look, Dayton Jones and Kawan Short are having a blast out here today, guys.
Kawan Short's killing people inside. Little spin move. Watch him here.
They seem to be collaborating all the time. And see, Short just pushes it, and then Jones comes in late on it. But they always seem to be around the quarterback when the ball is being delivered.
Marquise Goodwin out of Texas. National champion in the long jump. Placed 10th in the London Games this year. Backing up now inside his own 20. From the 13. And Goodwin brought down by Mike James, running back out of Miami. Kyle Long, one of the better stories here. We'll get into that in a moment. But moments ago, he spent time with Rebecca Harlow.
Earlier in the week, Kyle missed a couple crucial practices. First of all, are you feeling better, and how much pressure is there to come out here given the practice time that you missed?
Well, you make the commitment to come out here, and you know that you took somebody else's spot. So when you're out here, you know there's somebody at home watching who could be in this game. So you want to make sure you take advantage of the opportunity to be here. Obviously, I wasn't 100% early in the week, which is why I sat out of 2 practices. But had the opportunity to meet with the coaches and make sure I stayed up on my game plan. Just happy to be out here with the guys playing.
You're playing guard and you're playing tackle today too. Where do you see yourself fitting in the NFL?
Somewhere on the offensive line. You know, there's needs everywhere in the league for an offensive lineman. You know, offensive linemen come as a premium. So any opportunity I have, you know, I'd love to just get in that doorway and work as hard as I can.
And when you face Chris and the Rams, you're going to beat him one-on-one?
I have no idea. I don't want to get any quotables for that one.
Good luck.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Rebecca, Kyle, thank you. Good to see Denard Robinson with his hands on the football moments ago. But as for Kyle Long's story, quite a journey here to Mobile.
No doubt, off-the-field issues as a baseball player at Florida State. And just to finish the story with Kyle, I mean, he had some issues at Florida State. A 6'6" left-handed pitcher that threw 90+ miles an hour. An amazing athlete with upside. Took 2 years at a community college before 11 starts this year at Oregon. So the kid only has 11 starts under his belt. And I'm going to tell you right now, I knew Howie when he was a senior in high school. I was a roommate of him in the Blue-Gray game. I look at this kid and I see Howie Long 30 years ago. Huge upside for a kid with only 11 starts in college football.
Massive to Goodwin, and Goodwin has had a very active afternoon here at the 64th Senior Bowl. Picks up the first down. That's a gain of 12, and he has 5 receptions now today.
Paul, you mentioned Denard Robinson. Happy to see him, and this is what we talked about pre-snap. I think he's going to run 4.35 and make you miss. Get up the field. He's going to have to be a return guy, he's a quick and fast slot receiver. What we need to see, does he have natural hands? Because I know he's tough. Must have had 700+ touches at Michigan.
Touched the ball, and in a heavy run offense, took a lot of hits.
There's Cal Juszczyk out of Harvard, right up the middle. We do know Robinson had over 10,000 yards of total offense, the most in Michigan history. 91 touchdowns, the most in Michigan history.
And we're always going to talk about these quarterbacks who have to convert, right? And we've seen it happen in the league before. So you guys have seen him come and go. Is he more Antoine Randall? Is he more Armonte Edwards, who came out of Appalachian State, still trying to find his niche, Carolina Panthers? Or is he someone else?
He didn't look as natural as a receiver as Antoine Randall did this week.
But he also had that hand issue, or the arm issue.
The elbow issue,
he did. And he's got a numb arm and fingers on the hand numb, and that's a little tough for football when that's happening.
Let's look at the slot receiver in the NFL. Who's the quintessential guy? Is it Wes Welker right now?
Let's just say it's Wes Welker.
Devone Best, those kind of guys?
Those type of players.
Incredible quickness to win immediately, right? They're the safety blanket for the quarterback. So check. Robinson has that quickness and ability to win immediately. How about toughness? Wes Welker and Devone Bess are so tough. That kid is tough as nails. Now, the next one, you either have or you don't, and that's a great pair of hands. Just an ability to snatch the ball in traffic all day long. That's where I'm worried. I think he can learn routes. I just need to see him catch the ball.
And until he's 100% healthy, we may not have an answer.
They're down in 7 now for Ryan Nassib. All kinds of trouble, and there's Ziggy Ansah, and there goes the football. Ziggy Ansah making another play. That's David Quisenberry out of San Jose State recovering the Ryan Nassib fumble.
Yeah, and they even chip him, okay? Ansah's out here. Watch what happens. They got 2 people on him. The tight end chips him. The tackle's on him. He just keeps running through that and strips it.
Wow. And that was both guys from San Jose State. Otten, the tight end, Quisenberry, the tackle. He runs through him, strips the ball, and then Quisenberry has the presence to get back and fall on the fumble.
As we bring the third quarter to a close, 14-10, South team leading. Ziggy Ansah showing exactly what he showed at BYU toward the end of his senior season with 13 tackles for loss in the final 9 games and a forced fumble moments ago.
We've got Media Day covered on NFL Network. The teams are ready to let loose. It's everything you need to know about Super Bowl 47 straight from the players. Media Day. Live coverage begins Tuesday at 10 only on NFL.
Someday, your life will flash before your eyes. Watching. Introducing the 2013 Lexus LS, an entirely new pursuit.
What happened to my family?
My briefcase, or your family's dead.
What did you do? You set me up?
They'd be hunting you.
I'm not leaving this country without my family.
The cold light of day.
Get it January 29th.
Right now at Burger King, buy any original chicken sandwich and get one free. Like the original, the Italian, or the new Philly with bell peppers, onions, and cheese. Buy any original chicken sandwich and get one free. Only at Burger King, where taste is king.
Where do you turn for legal matters? Maybe you want to incorporate a business or protect your family with a will or living trust, and you'd like the help of an attorney. At LegalZoom, a legal plan attorney is available in most states with every personalized document to answer questions. Get started at LegalZoom.com today, and now you're protected.
Your favorite food's fighting you. Fight back fast with Tums. Calcium-rich Tums starts working so fast you'll forget you had heartburn.
Hershey's Bliss, 1 square inch of deliciously smooth chocolate and creamy milk. Or rich, incredible indulgence. 1 square inch of bliss. Hershey's Bliss.
Good night, game day.
Good night, big name day.
Good night, exes.
Good night, oh!
Good night, starlets and fancy boas.
Was that directed at me?
Good night, Clutch.
Good night, dreams. And good night, chance at going home with the ring.
Good night, football, our dear old friend.
We can't wait to see you again.
Live after the Super Bowl on NFL Network.
University of Nevada, let's get it.
Swag on 3. 1, 2, 3, swag. Hey, let's get it started right.
Dominate up front, man. Dominate up front. Let's go.
The way their offense is playing, we can save our time out.
Right. Put a little move on him and then beat him, all right? Hey, Poyer, nice job, baby.
We are set to start the fourth quarter. There's the head coach of the North team. His real full-time job, head coach of the Oakland Raiders, Dennis Allen. Jim Schwartz, head coach of the Detroit Lions. Second time in 3 years he's been a head coach here. 15 minutes of football left at the 64th Senior Bowl. The South team leading 14-10. And as we watch the special teams play, I'm looking out here, I see nothing but stars, all-conference players, all-Americans. Many of these players not used to playing special teams. Daniel Jeremiah, 8-year NFL scout. How's this work into the evaluation?
Oh, this is a key part of this game, Paul. A lot of scouts and evaluators will really study this special teams tape to get to see these guys cover kicks. And what I've seen so far, Aaron Dobson has a tackle on punt. You like to see that from a receiver. Russell Shepard also has a tackle on kickoff. Vince Williams had a big tackle on Ansah, like we said earlier, one of the first guys down. This is an important part of the game. Scouts really pay attention to fourth down out here.
Landry Jones, 39-11 all-time as a starter, and his 50 starts at Oklahoma back in. This is Stephon Taylor, Stanford's all-time leading rusher, opening up this drive with a first down scamper around the left side. Where's he been? Tackle made by Kasim Green, 20-yard gain.
Marcus Hunt lost contained the defensive end. Where's Taylor been? He got voted the best back of the week. Was that his first snap?
No, he's been bottled, a couple carries early where they didn't get much done.
Third carry.
Hit in the backfield early. Finally able to get to an edge and give him a chance to get into open space.
3 consecutive seasons, over 1,000 yards. This past year, a career high, 1,530 yards. 8 of those 100-yard rushing games.
And I'm in love with him because I think his ability to protect the passer is huge. Let's see if that comes into play in this game.
Landry Jones, Connor Vernon out to the 49-yard line. Penalty marker down. Would be a gain of 5 for the ACC's all-time leader in receptions and receiving yards.
Well schooled in the passing game by David Cutcliffe at Duke.
It might be a Bushi. There was a helmet loss there.
Illegal hands to the face on the offense, number 72. Penalty is 10 yards. Replay first down.
Bushi had hands to the face, ripped off, I believe it was Brandon Williams' helmet.
Oklahoma quarterback Landry Jones is mic'd up here. He's getting the play call right now. In a moment here, we'll take a listen. We'll see the penalty on that last play, just as Mike just discussed. And let's take a listen to the Landry call play.
Near right, 40 gut on one-on-one. Ready?
40 gut.
You can hear that called in any huddle there, Mike, right?
I like that.
High school, college, pro.
So now I know what to watch for.
Here comes Stephon.
Let's see these inside guys, how they defend it. I'm telling you, K'Wan Short, for me, I think the 2 best defensive players in the front 7 today have been K'Wan Short and Ziggy Ansah.
Short really has not been blocked today.
K'Wan Short came into this week, 14.5 tackles for a loss last year, first team All-Big Ten.
Here he is, just from the left of your screen, getting held, still getting a big piece of the quarterback, middle of your screen, shuffling down, making a play. When you're 310 pounds, bang! He comes inside, outside. I love him at the 3 technique, which means you're lining up on outside of the guard's shoulder, and you're looking for that one-on-one block, and he's explosive, quick, and has dominated the entire game.
48 career tackles for loss as a Boilermaker off the play action. And there is your Jones to Connor Vernon connection. Tight coverage from Bleedy Ray Wilson, not quite tight enough. That's a 10-yard gain.
I kind of like the rhythm, but I want the throw on the outside, not the inside shoulder. Bleedy Ray is going to pick that.
Give Vernon some big props on this one.
Yeah.
Watch him fall back inside and take the contact from Ray Wilson and hold on to the ball. I talked to David Cutcliffe, his college coach. I said, give me some good attributes about it.
Right. 744, back flat on one-on-one. Ready?
Strong hands, strong forearms, and he called him fearless.
Right.
All that came into play on that last one.
Reliable and consistent, would also work 48 consecutive games. That's every game of his career with at least 1 catch. This is 3rd down and 10. And down it goes Landry Jones. C.O. Moore was a star last week at the East-West Shrine game. Comes up with a big sack here.
Yeah, and he wins so quickly. You're going to see him against the left tackle. Watch him just flush in between the tackle and the back Bohannon. Neither of them can handle him. He was an outside linebacker last week at the East-West. They put him in passing situations with his hand in the dirt. And I think, Charles, one of the most consistent linebackers I've seen this year on tape.
I agree with that. And just watching him flash last week in practice, by the time we got to the production meeting with the coaching staff and they said C.O. Moore, we were all just kind of nodding our heads like, yeah. We've seen it, Coach. We got it. And we just saw it there. That was Teron Armstead from Arkansas Pine Bluff. He essentially ran through to make the play, an offensive tackle.
But he's showing an ability to edge rush, and that means a lot. Put your hand in the dirt and go.
Low, to bend.
Yep.
Dip and run the edge.
And here's Jordan Boyer, first team All Pac-12, down to defensive back, run out of bounds at the 30-yard line.
Patton and Ansah on the tackle. Pretty cool.
C.O. Moore, first team All Big East and making plays today.
Mobile, Alabama, the world's new aerospace hub.
selected by Airbus for its first facility in North America. A320s will soon be rolling off the assembly lines right here in Mobile County.
Mobile County is also home to a booming shipbuilding industry. We're manufacturing the Navy's newest, most high-tech vessels.
And we're one of the top 10 ports in the country.
Shipping, healthcare, oil and gas, steel, seafood, all part of a thriving economy taking flight in Mobile County.
To make it great for the whole crew, Pizza Hut put all your favorites in one epic box. The big dinner box is loaded with 2 medium pizzas, 5 breadsticks, and your choice of pasta, stuffed pizza rollers, or wings for just $19.99. Now that's how you make it great.
So we all set?
I've got 2 tickets to paradise. Pack your bags, we'll leave tonight.
It's next month, actually.
Paradise.
No, 4, remember?
Whoa, 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 whoa.
You know, Ronnie, folks who save hundreds of dollars by switching to Geico sure are happy. And how happy are they, Jimmy? Happier than Eddie Money running a travel agency.
Get happy. Get Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Don't just reject convention. Drown it out. Introducing the all-new 2013 Lexus LS F-Sport. An entirely new pursuit.
When you arrive for your job interview, it's okay to take a moment to collect your thoughts. Just make sure you show up on time. The Scouting Combine, only on NFL Network.
Daniel Jeremiah talked about the importance of special teams. Watch Quinton Patton, number 4, the starting wideout, forces the wide receiver to change directions. He's going to stay involved in the play, but allows 47 onside to get involved also. So 2 of the best players on the field all week long collaborate for a special teams tackle. That's what it's all about.
If you go back, Ziggy Ansah at BYU made his first impact in special teams there as he was learning to play the game of football. We saw earlier in this game when we were complimenting Quinton Patton on his ability to block on the edge and stay aggressive and stay engaged with receivers. That helps you become a better special teams player also.
Robbie Rouse, excellent all-around player at Fresno State. The all-time leading rusher, picks up 9 yards. He had 1,000 career touches, rushing and receiving.
Something about that young man. I know the size is going to be the issue that people will continue to fixate on.
I got 4 numbers for you.
Production out of him in college.
Charles, I got 4 numbers for you. 5057. You know what that is? Excuse me, 50, yeah. Go ahead.
5'5" and 7/8.
You got it.
And that's shorter than Jaquiz Rogers.
He's thick, though. Really thick built. Oh, another good hit inside. Who was that?
I believe that was Everett Dawkins. Florida State.
Back-to-back. He tracked down the last play from behind to show quickness, and that play he showed stoutness. Watch 93 flash. Inside out.
I know we focus on a lot of things when we watch a game. But am I incorrect in saying that this has been a defensive lineman's paradise game today? I mean, we're seeing a lot of plays from defensive linemen. We focused on a few guys who have made the bigger splash plays.
Right.
But fundamentally, these guys up front, I think, are winning most of the battles.
Yeah, and I thought it was a really good offensive line group, too.
Kyle Juszczyk didn't need much, didn't get much. Nico Johnson, linebacker out of Alabama.
Kind of fun to watch Kyle Long in there at left guard, and he got really good initial contact, but then lost his guy. He's just so aggressive and he's so raw, but I love the power and the upside of this kid. Here he is at left guard. Good hit. Now he's trying to slide up to the second level and doesn't have anybody, but he got a good initial hit, tried to hand it off to the center.
We had Madsen from West Virginia, a good double team initially. And remember, they tried to get an extra year of eligibility for Kyle Long at Oregon. That was denied by the NCAA, thus he's here today.
Great matchup on a 360-pounder across from him.
Jonathan Franklin out of UCLA.
Jonathan Franklin carries.
And he picks up, called 3 yards. Tackle made by B.J. Scott out of South Alabama.
Where's Barner been?
You know, they've run him a couple of times, tried to throw the ball to him. There have been some inaccurate throws to him in the passing game.
3 carries, 13 yards.
But this kid right here, Scott, that they were just showing, at one point when he came out of high school, you know who he was rated just a shade behind? Julio Jones. That's how highly regarded he was. Went to Alabama, couldn't really adjust there. Came here to South Alabama and had a much better career.
Zach Dysert out of Miami in a quarterback and looking deep. Not a bad toss. Looking for Marquise Goodwin. Gave him a chance. Incomplete.
Keep in mind, Charles, again, how fast this Goodwin kid is, right? Long jumper, Olympic trials.
Did you see him? You see the cushion that Scott had to begin with, and Goodwin still ate it up?
That's one of those deals where you start off about 8 yards and you just turn and sprint.
Not that I want to bring myself in it, but that was a Charles Davis cushion.
Yeah, me too.
And I probably added a couple yards to it. It wasn't just a 12.
Trust me, I'm right with you.
If I thought 12 was good, I'd go to 14.
I'll come up and tackle hitch all day long. My nickname was Soft and Off.
Oh, man, they were going by me like it was a turnstile.
Zach Dysert trying to work the touch pass in there. And look at Robert Alford. He already has the 95-yard kickoff return today. Yep. Pretty play there.
Here's Alford. He's going to run in and then back out. Now that ball's got to be earlier and wider. Good job by Alford, though. Hip to hip. Closes on the football, makes the play. That's really pretty.
If they're going to throw it wider, it's got to be thrown quicker.
Yeah,
it's got to be out of your hands because at that point he's running over the sideline.
Yep.
So Alford utilizing the sideline as an extra defender to help him in his coverage.
B.W. Webb back to receive, and he's someone about 3 hours ago. You called his name, Charles, and said he had a good week. Let's see a good game.
Like to see him get off a nice return.
The return kick right there.
Got some room around the side there. Is that a clip?
No flag.
It was it was James from Miami made the block, right?
Yeah, Mike James.
And there's BW's big play. 40 yards.
Well, you spotlighted him. You put the spotlight directly on it, and he responded.
He showed up.
Well done.
Made his head coach smile, too.
I think
Which is not easy to do.
Very true.
B.W. Webb, 30 yards on the punt return. 8:49 left in the game. His South squad on top by 4.
Born from the elements, destined to take them over. A Sirius XM satellite radio in the 2013 Ram 1500. Engineered to move heaven and earth. Guts, glory, Ram. The new Ram 1500. Motor Trend's 2013 Truck of the Year.
The 2013 Hall of Fame class will be revealed. Find out which legends will be immortalized and receive football's highest honor. The Road to Canton, Saturday, February 2nd at 5:30 on NFL Network.
NFL Network comes to you live from New Orleans with non-stop Super Bowl coverage. All week long, we bring you the latest headlines, superstar guests, and sights and sounds from the Big Easy.
I love his energy.
It all leads up to Super Sunday with First on the Field and Game Day Morning. Our team of Super Bowl champs break down the big game.
They play with attitude.
Get more pregame coverage than any place else. Super Bowl week, live from New Orleans, starts Monday on NFL Network.
The night before the Super Bowl, the National Football League presents the NFL Honors.
Don't get no better than this.
The most memorable plays, the most dramatic moments, the biggest stars all together on one night. Who will be named Offensive Rookie of the Year, MVP, the Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year, hosted by Alec Baldwin.
We got the best seat in the house.
The NFL Honors, Saturday, February 2nd at 9 on CBS.
Welcome to NFL Total Access.
The only live nightly show dedicated to the NFL. The latest news and exclusive coverage from across the league.
They are playing inspired football right now.
Straight from the players.
I play to be the best.
And the experts that know it best.
Could be the difference in making the playoffs or not.
Everything NFL, every day.
Let's get ready to rock and roll.
NFL Total Access, Monday through Saturday at 7, live on NFL Network.
The network
Welcome back to the Senior Bowl. 14-10 lead South. However, North making strides here in the second half, and the guy responsible for it, Mike Glennon, who's with me now. Mike, what adjustments were you able to make in the second half to put your team back on the board here?
I think as an offense, we just got more comfortable as the game went on. We kind of established a run game, which helps open up the pass game, and that really got things going.
We know you can throw the football, but what about your height here is giving you an advantage as you move into the NFL?
I think the fact that I can see over the linemen, defensive linemen, because even for me, there's a few times where it's hard for me to see, so I can't imagine being some of these shorter guys, so I think it's a big advantage for me.
Thanks so much.
All right, thank you.
Paul.
All right, Rebecca, Mike, thank you very much, and pretty time of night here inside Ladd Peoples Stadium. It feels like right now, Mike and Charles, that Geno Smith, as we watch the reverse to Terrence Williams out of Baylor, led the nation in receiving yards this year, run out of bounds by the most outstanding defensive player for Nevada. That's Duke Williams after a gain of 7. Feels like Geno Smith is probably a first-round pick at quarterback somewhere in the first round. We're waiting to see another quarterback enter that conversation. Did Mike Glennon do enough this week to belong there?
I think from what I'm seeing right now, I think Geno Smith, as you said, fits somewhere in that first round. I think Barkley is a guy we're talking about.
E.J. Manuel in at quarterback now inside the 50-yard line. This is Stephon Taylor off the left side. And he picks up 2.
I think it'll be interesting as we go along with all the process, right? And we got everything happening, everything going on. At the end of the day, quarterback is still a premium.
Right.
So guys that we're talking about now, are they first round? Are they not first round? Are they this? Are they deficient here? Are they deficient there? Come draft day.
Right.
Warts and all, if we want to call it that. We're going to see some names called, right?
Right. And Paul, I took an audio hit there. I apologize. I missed the back end of your question.
Stephon Taylor off the right side. And we were just talking about the first-round quarterback situation and whether Mike Glennon did enough this week to belong in that discussion. That's a gain of 3.
Yeah, I think Geno Smith somewhere. I think Barkley will surface in the first round by the end of the process. And then I think you take a really close look at Glennon, at Landry Jones. I think they're the next 2 guys that you're looking at as potential first-round picks. For me, Glennon's got first-round arm talent, but I need to know a lot more about the kid. I want to know what kind of leader he is. I want to know how much tape he watches. There's an awful lot I need to find out about this kid's intangibles before you pull the trigger on the first-round pick at the quarterback position.
Quarterback right now is E.J. Manuel. That's a sweep to the left side. Little misdirection. Sweep, toss sweep to Stephon Taylor. And Stanford's all-time leading rusher goes for 16.
And guess what they did, Mike? They got Marcus Hunt again.
There he is, and he's going to lose.
Same play, same move.
Boom. He's got to stay parallel with the shoulder pads to the line of scrimmage. Once he turns,
good block by Vernon.
Yep.
You see that on Jordan Poyer and ready to Connor Vernon to the left side, engaged well, but you're exactly right about Hunt. Got to stay parallel.
Yeah, once he turns perpendicular, he loses. It's over. He can't turn and go.
Taylor right now 7 carries for 42 yards. Now with 8. And with that, he is your leading rusher in the game. His teammate Mike Gillisley also had 42. Picks up 6. Duke Williams, active safety out of Nevada, there to make the tackle.
Duke Williams up high, Cyprian down low.
My favorite back in the game this week, though, is Stephon Taylor.
Kulabasi.
That's him. He and his alter ego.
You like both of them?
I like them both. for all the reasons of going forward to the NFL, he's a complete back, in my opinion. He can do whatever you ask of him. And the pass protection is the key for me,
right, because
of how much we're paying the quarterbacks and how big an impact quarterbacks have on the game now.
Manuel, nice job of evading the pressure of out of UCLA, Dayton Jones, intended for Tommy Bohannon.
Obviously, Tommy Bohannon from Wake Forest has to catch that football. Not a difficult catch at all. Well, maybe it was a little more difficult than I thought, huh?
Floated out there on him a little bit, didn't it?
Looked like me pregame. I dropped one in front of the entire Oakland Raiders coaching staff, and they couldn't stop laughing.
How's the hammy? You all right?
Jonathan Tarver, the D coordinator, threw me one. I couldn't catch it in front of their bench, and those guys were hysterical.
You're okay, though, right? You didn't overextend.
Well, of course, I pantomimed. I blew out the hammy, and I'm pointing, and they're just making fun of me, as they should. Middle-aged guy in a suit.
I like the effort, though.
There's Dayton Jones again. Nice job by E.J. Manuel stepping up and finding Stephon Taylor on 3rd down and 4. So good job of avoiding pressure, finding his check down, and picking up a 1st down.
Paul, don't you work as a quarterback, and you played it in the Big Ten. You work on this type of drill all the time, don't you? And now it comes into play, doesn't it?
And what he did really well, he felt that he had pressure, but then he regathered right away. Got his eyes right back downfield. C.O. Moore making the tackle out of UConn. Big week last week. Done a nice job showing up here today. As we approach the 5-minute mark, 1st down and 10. South team still leading 14-10. It was moving this direction in the 1st quarter that E.J. Manuel led those 2 touchdown drives. One was set up by the Robert Lester 95-yard kickoff return. That's a nice kind of touchdown drive you like to lead. That's a gain of 5.
You mean you'll take 1st and 5?
Every time.
On the +5 anytime? Start a drive?
Let's keep it with the quarterbacks here. And as we watch Stephon Taylor here, Mike, go ahead.
Warford, the War Daddy again. See him get out to the 2nd level, 333 pounds. And I heard 4th and 5th round grades on him when I got here. And as far as I'm concerned, if he doesn't go by the end of the 3rd round, I'll be shocked. And it wouldn't surprise me if he went in the 2nd. He's a starting guard.
It will be the to go in the draft since 1993.
Mike Gillisley, good moves inside. Trying to get outside.
Cyprian wrapped up on him again. Wasn't that Boharness also from Rutgers?
Yep. By the way, you talk about Gillisley and how strong and tough he is, and the number I think of is 34. He had 34 carries against LSU.
Yep.
And I watched that tape, Charles. 34 yards, and they were man yards.
And what part of
LSU?
Oh, and what part of the game did he lock it down with the big carry? You know what I'm talking about? Late in the ball game. Probably carries were probably approaching 30 at that point, right? With the big run to finish things off against one of the tougher defenses in the country.
It was a fun tape to watch because, like a classic tailback, he got stronger as the game went on.
3rd down and 4. There's Gillisley cutting it back inside. Brought down by Buchanan out of Illinois.
Kind of interesting that the South has 14 points, both engineered by Manuel, and here they are driving again, and the quarterback is E.J. Manuel.
3:26 left, South team. The lead has been cut to 4. They try to increase it after the break.
Someday, your life will flash before your eyes. Make it worth watching. Introducing the 2013 Lexus LS, an entirely new pursuit.
DiGiorno or delivery? DiGiorno or delivery? Taste for yourself why the shortest distance between you and a delicious fresh-baked pizza is your oven. Thankfully, it's not delivery, it's DiGiorno.
Well, congratulations. It's cold. Do you ever notice the big games, the important games, are played in the cold? I'm talking about playoffs. Regular season doesn't mean anything now. No time to get nervous. Forget about everything else and finish the job. So yeah, you made it this far. Now what are you gonna do about it?
All eyes right here. This is our year. I thought it was last year. Turns out I was wrong. None of us would walk in here and settle. That's how we are. I forgot what I was going to say. Patrick, I want 100% commitment. Because I care, man, okay? Who are we? What the heck is going on in here? Sorry, Coach, I just got a little carried away. All right. I think we're good.
For a chance to be in the locker room on game day and more, join Visa NFL Fan Offers and make your season epic.
Monday on NFL AM, we kick off NFL Network's 140 hours of coverage, first and live from the Big Easy. Touchdown! Plus Pro Bowl highlights, NFL AM Monday at 6, live on NFL Network.
The Super Bowl matchup at quarterback this year kind of reads like a Senior Bowl promo. Joe Flacco back in 2008 showed off all that arm strength, introduced himself to us. Colin Kaepernick 2 years ago came in with all the accolades, running the football and passing the football at Nevada. And then Super Bowl Sunday, it'll be a couple of Senior Bowl grads. Joe Flacco against Colin Kaepernick. Super Bowl week is on NFL Network. You can catch exclusive live coverage of Media Day, the Pro Football Hall of Fame 2013 class announcement, and much more. Don't miss the NFL's biggest week. It's Super Bowl week kicking off on Monday right here on NFL Network.
So what we just saw there, if we were to extrapolate that to our game, Mike Glennon playing the part of Joe Flacco in a sense. E.J. Manuel playing the part of Colin Kaepernick in a sense. Not saying they are exactly those guys, but those comparisons I had made to me this week by the guys who are going to be pulling the trigger come draft day.
It was pretty interesting. It was 4th down and 1 quarterback sneak for E.J. Manuel. Going to be awfully close here as we approach the 3-minute mark. Those comparisons work for you?
They work for me in the way that they were presented to me.
Charles, Mike. Go ahead. Now, you talk about that guy right there, Warford.
Big Larry Warford. Look at this. Now, that's just a straight drive block, and he's getting help from Jordan Mills, the left tackle from Louisiana Tech, who was a late addition to the game, and you needed to have 2 of them because that was K'Wan Short that they were trying to root out of there, and they did a nice job of doing it.
He's so thick and so square, and you can say, yeah, he's a phone booth guy, but I think his feet are a little better than the typical, quote, phone booth guy.
And we're talking about Warford in this term, correct?
Yep. Tailback is Mike James out of Miami. Give to James, and right on him right away. Out of North Carolina, Sylvester Williams. He's also had a pretty good week.
Paulie, my guy Warford, you want to see a turtle?
Yes.
You ever hear of a turtle? Watch him again. This is easy. It's a down block. Watch what he does. He's going to take short and work him, and turtle him on his back.
Jonathan Cyprian from the safety spot up there to make a tackle.
Now you get to see the finish.
He's a little nasty, too.
And we're seeing, you know, what's been nice about this is many of the guys that we were able to watch all week long, that made an impression on us, carried over to game day. Earlier today, we had Quentin Copel, first-round pick of the Jets. Last year coming into this game, what was the biggest question mark about it, Mike?
Motor.
Will he play full-time? Junior tape better than senior tape. Maybe he played better inside than he did outside, even though he looked like an outside guy. But all week at this game, what did he do? He worked and worked and worked. And then he carried it over to game day and was dominant on Saturday.
Right.
Did not hurt one bit. Next thing you know, he's a first-round pick, has a decent rookie year. We're seeing that out of a lot of the guys we spotlighted through the week.
E.J. Manuel under center, right now 7 out of 10, a touchdown toss, also a touchdown run. Mike James into the end zone for the South team. Mike James from 5 yards out to make it 20-10 South.
Schwenke the center, Warford the right guard, both doing yeoman's work today at Charles as they did all week long.
Look at that. Look at Schwenke climbing up to the next level to get to Boharness, the linebacker. I think Jordan Webb has opened some eyes here at Louisiana Tech, although I think people knew about him because if you plug in the Texas A&M tape, he had a nice job that day against DeMontre Moore, who's likely to be a first-round defensive end in that game. So a number of guys getting opportunities and capitalizing. Man, this no rushing the kicker thing went out the window early.
Didn't they read that rule?
Early. That rule got thrown out, torn up, you name it.
It had a 2-hour shelf life, or maybe about 45 minutes.
It had a shelf life of the first punt attempt, Paul, and that was it.
And you can kick off Super Bowl Sunday with First on the Field, 7 a.m. Eastern. Who exactly is Colin Kaepernick? We'll explore that question and more. At 9 o'clock Eastern on game day morning, Brett Favre will join the guys in New Orleans. That'll be fun. And we bring you 10.5 hours. We say 10.5 of expert pregame coverage. Super Bowl Sunday only on NFL Network. It begins with First on the Field at 7 a.m. Eastern on NFL Network.
Brett Favre? Did you really say Brett Favre?
That's what it said.
Now that's interesting to me.
Yeah.
Because I have no idea what's coming out of his mouth.
It could be really good stuff. Could be entertaining as heck.
It could be because
don't forget Brett's been coaching too. You know, he spent the last year coaching up the high school guys, running plays. Still loves the game. This could be fun.
You know who's back deep to receive, guys? I see that Michigan helmet. That's Denard Robinson.
D-Rob
knows what to do with the football. 4,495 rushing yards. That's the most in NCAA history by a quarterback.
Is he tying his shoelaces yet? Is he still doing that shoelace thing?
I knew you were going there.
Is he still doing that?
I still don't understand it. I'm way too old.
Are you buying the shoes that are like a half size smaller to keep them on? Tie the shoelace.
Is he going to bring it out?
Come on.
He was gonna. Deep.
If he had caught it clean, I think he was going to bring it.
Caught it the first time he was coming out, right?
Yes, I think you're right, Paul.
Yeah, and there's that hand issue again. We thought, does he have natural hands? What's the deal? There's shoelaces. They're open. Looks like. Yep.
Untied.
He's dragging them.
He's shoelace.
Yo laces.
Let's see who's coming in at quarterback here for the North team.
Like Zach Dysert.
See that Miami helmet? Zach Dysert, 4-year starter at Miami, 45 career starts. Spent 3 of those 4 years as a team captain.
I put the Ohio State tape on. They got whacked. But he kept it interesting early just because of some arm talent throws.
Like that. There's a shot there to Marcus Wheaton out of Oregon State.
Remember, Paul, the other day I made you come in the trailer and watch some of that tape with me?
You didn't make me. You just asked me, and I said sure.
Well, I knew being a former quarterback, you'd be a sucker for some.
And he made some big-time throws.
He made a throw on the run that was right out of the end zone, 50 yards down the field that took your breath away. Most of their offense is less than 10 yards. It's hard to watch arm talent type throws in their offense. However, he flashes. He just doesn't do it consistently enough, and he had a very average week during practice this week.
And he's now 2 for 8 for just 27 yards. Looking off and coming back underneath, there's a guy you were asking about earlier, Kenyon Barner. Chase Thomas, linebacker out of Stanford, makes the tackle. That's a gain of 10.
Mike, you're talking about this 10-yard throws. Aren't you seeing more and more of that proliferate the college game? I mean, that's what you're seeing more often than not.
Which is why every college quarterback I watch tape of, I chart. You go 0 to 10, 11 to 20, and 21 plus, because after you watch 3, 4, 5 tapes.
False start, 44, offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
It all starts kind of running together. And what I want to see are where are the arm strength throws? I mean, 0 to 10, I get it. That's fine. And you might go 18 for 21 in a game, 0 to 10, but 1 for 5, 11 for 20. And I need to go back and look at those throws. And there aren't many of them in college football.
Right.
That's hard.
And I saw the exact same thing in Boise, Mike. I was all excited to watch a big, experienced quarterback, and he probably threw 2 balls down the field.
Right.
Flushed out to his left, back across his body, finding Kenyon Barner one more time.
I remember that, Paul. I called you right after that game to talk about the young man. First thing you said to me.
They didn't really let him cut it loose that often. 2-minute warning, South team leading by 11.
Thank you for interviewing with the NFL. You've emerged as a top candidate and have made big steps toward a career with our company. Once we complete our selection process, we'll let you know if you're the right hire for our organization. In any case, be prepared to start immediately.
Don't just reject convention. Drown it out. Introducing the all-new 2013 Lexus LS F-Sport, an entirely new pursuit.
Can your touch-up paint do this? Ours can. Introducing the Dr. Color Chip Paint Chip Repair Kit. Rated #1 by the Wall Street Journal. Just dab, smear, and blend the paint. It's that easy. Simply go to drcolorchips.com. Select the year, make, and model. Find your factory-matched color code and order the kit you need. Go to our website now and see more photos and reviews.
Order now at drcolorchip.com. That's drcolorchip.com.
Super Bowl 46, the rematch. The Giants aim to repeat their Super Bowl 42 heroics against Brady and the revenge-seeking Patriots. Super Bowl 46, Monday at 8, exclusively on NFL Network.
2-minute warning here on the 64th annual Senior Bowl. The South team leading 21 to 10. The premier pre-draft events. Great practice all week, culminating with an exciting game here on this Saturday. Stands clearing out a little bit here, as you can see. 2-minute warning. South team leading by 11. And the North team with the football on the 49-yard line. The quarterback is Zach Dysert. Looking forward, Denard Robinson. Did he go down and get it? Nice catch, Denard. 35 starts at quarterback, 2 at running back, and trying to make it as a NFL wide receiver.
Yeah, and he cradled that all the way through the ground.
And right now, that's what he's going to have to do because of the numbness in his arm and hand. Where he had trouble this week, I saw Michael when he had to make hands catches. Hard for him to grip the football.
That's Dysart to Barner. Big gain of 15.
I give him credit because a lot of people wouldn't have come down here and competed fearing that they'd be exposed at a new position. So I think he's a tough kid. I really like him.
I think he got from NFL people this new position, wasn't afraid to go out. Two, knowing quite the same either. Didn't shy away from any of it.
I saw Zig that pile again.
Yeah, he and Dawkins from Florida State. This last half, the second half, but Ansa has played the whole darn game, man.
I think we can go down just about every D lineman today, seemingly it feels like, and find a play for them.
Yeah. Vince Williams, he's flashed, took advantage of a week. Not a highly rated guy, but came in here and pounded people. Let's see what kind of read we get here. See if the South plays a one high safety or two. It's like single high, Charles.
Yep. So is it cover one or cover three?
It's like three.
Dysart continuing to check it down underneath. Nice move by Kenyon Varner, brought down by Williams.
Cover. I'm sorry, Paul.
Go ahead, gain of 11.
Yeah, all I'm saying is cover one means everyone plays man-to-man coverage except for the single high safety in the middle, free safety over the top. Cover three will be through zones. Corners backing all the way out into the zones, safety in the middle.
Dysart rid of it just in time, and go ahead and say it with me. That's Kenyon Varner. He checked down right in front of him. Picks up 7 that time, and Dysart started this drive 1 for 7. Yep. He's now 8 for 14 with a series of high percentage completions.
The one quick question I would have, Mike, after this play, I've gathered about Kenyon Varner to see what you've seen so far.
But there's what I want to see. When you have a single high safety, the thing they do in the NFL so well is whenever there's a single high safety, they attack the corners because effectively, whether it's zone or man, it's one-on-one. And I don't understand why these quarterbacks aren't attacking that all day long. Intermediate and deep stuff. Challenge the corners.
See the anticipation there as well?
Yeah.
That was nice.
It's a heck of a throw. Does that go back to what they threw a lot of in college stuff? Maybe they didn't do these.
I agree with that, Charles.
Maybe you wonder about that part of it.
But that's what they're going to have to do at the next. Your eyes have to light up when you see that single high safety in the middle of the field. Know you can attack the edges.
Dysart again to Varner, and he'll walk it into the end zone.
Good drive for Zach Dysart and his offense down the stretch.
Varner has 7 catches in this game for 60 yards and a touchdown out of nowhere.
My question for you, though, Mike, is prior to that last one where he was wide open, the ability to make someone miss.
Right.
Because I feel like today when he's caught the ball, it's been a target catch. He catches it, guy's there, he makes a tackle. I didn't see him elude that one guy. I'm not saying that's all his fault.
Put the USC tape on.
Oh, I did the USC game.
No, you didn't.
And that was all run. I'm talking about these tonight. I just wondered about that part, if you've seen that. Because the USC game, he hasn't been tackled yet.
Not yet. Uh-oh.
Alford with the 95-yard kickoff return and an interception to go along with it.
Nice game, nice week, Mr. Alford. You did well.
See him in Indy, I would believe.
See him in Indy.
In Indianapolis, where the next step for him is the combine. And now he's big time on the radar. Big time.
Guys, it's been fun to have Daniel Jeremiah, a former NFL scout, along with us. And before the clock hits zeros, let's get him in one final time here for some final thoughts, not only from what you saw today on game day, Daniel, but you could go back to the entire game week, too.
Well, you know, Paul, there's one player we haven't talked a lot about tonight. That's Vince Williams, the linebacker from Florida State. He's made all kinds of tackles out here. Prior to the week, a lot of teams had him as kind of a 6th, 7th round flyer type player, but he's stuck people all week long, a lot of big hits, and he carried it over to the game tonight. That's why the Senior Bowl is so great. Why would you turn down an opportunity to come here and make a name for yourself? Vince Williams, Florida State, helped himself this week.
All right, Daniel Jeremiah, thank you very much. Big hits, and Dennis Allen and Jim Schwartz, they kind of get a head start on getting to know these kids. They're here all week, and their knowledge of what these players are going to be in the NFL is so much more advanced than the other 30 head coaches because of the time spent this week.
Paul, you made a point a little while ago that this is the second time in 3 years that Jim Schwartz and the Lions staff have coached this game, correct?
Yes.
So 2 years ago when they coached it, that led to, what, an 11-win season in playoffs? Leslie Frazier and the Viking staff were here last year. Got the big-time draft picks. Playoffs. I'm not saying it's a lock, but it helps you.
Interesting. Out of bounds.
Because you know they don't practice this.
They're
right?
trying to pooch that over the 2 front lines. He was just trying to pooch it over the 2 front lines because there were 10 people bunched up there, but he gave it a little too much oomph.
And I think there's a second part of that, too. They probably there's a gentleman's agreement, too.
No
You're not
onside.
practicing the onside kick. You pooch it over the top. You don't have those monster collisions. You know, you take care of the kids that way.
Is Scott Linehan the offensive coordinator for the Lions, and real advantage for Matthew Stafford as he continues to develop. That's the only offensive coordinator he's ever had there in Detroit. Continuity, not something every quarterback has in the National Football League with his coaches. And Tyler Wilson out of Arkansas, 2-year starter, filling in for Ryan Mallett. Excellent junior year, questionable senior season for a lot of reasons beyond his control. And a pretty good week here in Mobile, and he'll just take a knee. And that'll be how this one ends, with the South team leading and winning 21-16. Ziggy Ansah, what a game he had. Came on strong, defensive end / outside linebacker for BYU. And a strong finish here at the Senior Bowl. 21-16, the South team on top. And winners, E.J. Manuel, touchdown pass and a touchdown run. Charles Davis, Mike Mayo, Rebecca Harlow, and Daniel Jeremiah. I'm Paul Burmeister. Thanks for being with us all week. The NFL Total Access is next.